Okay, so where we left off, everybody was getting ready to settle in for the night. Ben, were you saying something? Say something,
Nope.
G? Okay, all right. I saw you light up, but I wasn't sure if you were trying to talk or not. All right. Go. So, oh, I gotta change the sounds too. Week off and everything gets all messed up. Especially when I had to fix the fucking audio and everything as well. Okay, so where we left off, everybody's getting ready to settle in. You guys see Sarah off to one side, talking to Ozzy in hushed tones. Beyond that, did anybody have anything they wanted to do the night before just going in to take your long rest?
I will probably see. It's getting a bit late.
About 10.
Yeah, I might as well do my 2 minute before I go to sleep. I think I'm going to get excited about going to this new land that I haven't been to before, and I'm going to go play around with this rock that I got. I'm going to tinker with it and see what I can figure out.
Okay.
Cast a few cantrips, maybe trying to figure it out, or how it works.
Anything that doesn't have a target that isn't damaging, you wouldn't notice any difference for. It doesn't really seem to fire or do anything. You do know the specifics of it, though. Having been attuned to it, you know how it works, and it's the information that was added to your sheet there for you. If you go to your inventory tab, though, make sure that you mark off that it's attuned. It is Lithic of Life Thieving. It's the second from the bottom. Click that circle to the right of it. There you go. And you have 2 out of 3, because you can have 3 total attuned items.
Oh, cool.
All right. So, anybody doing anything else before going to sleep? No?
Nope.
All right. Then I will apply the long rest for you. There we go. Becky, the conversation with Ozzy that from your Discord channel, that's happened now, basically. So as far as the narrative is concerned, that it occurred, before you guys went to sleep. So everybody wakes up from your long rest. Sarah specifically, you are woken instantly by a very sharp burning pain in your right elbow stump. You pull the sleeve up, and in what should be open air, you see the stump of your elbow's grown maybe like an inch or so back. The skin is dark. It's almost that same kind of purplish black that you saw in that altered spell that Corandan's list taught to you. And despite the pain, you can't help but kind of poke at it with your finger, sending shockwaves up your arm, of course. But it is real. It does appear to be regrowing. It looks a little bit more singed than it did before.
Okay.
For your hand choking. Also, while doing this, you do notice that Shan is sleeping on the floor nearby.
Really?
Apparently of her own volition.
Okay.
Not doing anything, she's just sleeping.
Okay, well then, I guess just while I'm getting ready, I'd just kind of like pat her on the head a little before I go downstairs.
Okay. For Norok, when you wake, you find Sorsha is laying in the corner. You had given her, a space, like essentially in a cot, in another room, but she's actually laying on the corner in your room, curled up on what looks like burlap sacks.
Okay. And still breathing, from what I can see.
She does appear to be. Yeah, from a distance, you can see that her lungs moving a little bit, especially as rail thin as she is.
Yeah, well, she wants to stay there. That's fine.
You guys all, as you're waking in the Kettle Keep, you can hear a lot of bustling and a lot of noise coming from the courtyard, which is, where your guys' rooms are all kind of on the exterior walls, pretty much, of the Kettle Keep. So you can kind of hear through the windows and everything that there's something happening out in the courtyard. So
I'm gonna go look out the window. I'm gonna put my clothes back on. I actually felt comfortable enough to sleep butt naked last night. So I'm gonna go up to the window, and I'm gonna poke my little head out and see what I can see. Maybe put a stool there so I can reach.
Outside, the courtyard is just bustling with crow blinders. You notice that most of them look like they are geared for travel. So a bunch of human soldiers in the courtyard, and as you can actually see that the front gates are wide open, and where the portcullis would be. You guys know what a portcullis is? The kind of steel gate part, the like
Okay.
hard. Yeah. So that thing is lifted as well. And then coming in through the gates and through the portcullis there is a crowd of these hardy-looking halflings. This is what Pogo is seeing. Anybody else that's over on that side of the, which would be Sarah's room. That'd be the only two. Actually, no. Artemis on that side. She's just up in the tower. So, anyways, you guys can see maybe 40 or so total, and they're garbed similarly to the Crannog Folkwoman Bowl that you guys met in near Cadogan in the swamp. And they're marching in through the gates one by one. And then as they're coming in, you can hear that
do they look like other soldiers?
They not like the human soldiers. They look like the kind of hardy they look like the woman that you met in the swamp. That's they're kind of garbed, a little bit dirty, but certainly they're a little bit tired probably, but not necessarily injured. But kind of look like they're ready for a fight. They just haven't necessarily been in one.
I'm gonna kind of stick my head a little bit out if I can, and I'm just gonna be like, you know what fucking time it is?
It's. I guess if you guys went to sleep about that, it's probably about 7 a.m. So I mean, you're probably fine. But
what a great way to wake me up!
Give me a perception check on Pogo. And anybody that's watching, which I think it's everybody except for Norok. Norok's the only one that doesn't have a wall that he can look out from. You guys see the shell flying in over the walls through that same blizzard storm is still blowing out. In fact, it maybe even seems stronger a little bit. But the shell with their dragonfly mounts fly in and are settling into the place that they departed from last night. For that perception, there's a face that looks vaguely familiar in the crowd.
Is it the girl I slept with last night?
No, amongst the halflings that are walking in.
Vaguely familiar in a good way or a bad way? Or do I not know? Do I just basically like,
That kind of rings a distant bell based on your check.
All right. So then, I'm curious. I'll throw on my light armor and get situated and get all my items and tousle my hair about so I got a nice little side part and looking nice and dapper. And then I'm going to go ahead and head down there and see what's going on, why they're gathering in the courtyard.
Okay. What's Artemis up to? Fox?
Finishing up my pack.
And I'm eating food, so any weird slurping sounds you hear from me is food. Yeah.
Finishing up your pack? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Like packing material, traveling stuff? Okay. Okay. Pogo's going to head down into the courtyard then. What are Norok and Sarah up to? You guys hear stirring inside the kettle keep of people getting up, and maybe it's Abraham, you don't know, but people moving around in the kettle keep.
The pain in my elbow, is it like distracting or
kind
of there?
Sounds like it's itchy.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit itchy, but when you poke it, it sends like lightning bolts up your arm. But other than that, it isn't hurting.
Okay, so like the cloth on it doesn't hurt from the sleeves?
Probably itchy a little bit. It's not enough to lose any hit points or anything. Just maybe slightly irritating, but otherwise not enough to like actually damage you.
Okay, I'm gonna go find Artemis then.
Okay. You find her in her room up in the tower, preparing and packing up goods.
Do you have anything for itchy skin? Just like an irritating pain.
Let me think.
That same salve that she made you before, that would probably suffice.
Probably, but that other salve has a specific use. If it's just an itch, it would be.
Yeah,
it would
and
need a different
it
salve.
was a rare herb, so it wasn't easy necessarily to replace.
Just rub some dart on it.
What's Norok doing?
I'm going to let Sorcha know that we are leaving today, and to try to keep herself out of trouble and not go around, people's kitchens, stealing their bread and shit. So, tell her there's enough food in the house, and to try to keep herself out of trouble.
So when you say that, her eyes go slightly wide for just a second, and then she mimes like putting something in her mouth like bread or something, and then kind of shrugs, like trying. She's asking you where is she supposed to get food, and well, go ahead.
Then I'll tell her I'm going to introduce her to Abraham. That was his name, right? The new employee, the indentured servant / slave. So
it's funny. We were just talking about indentured servitude.
And,
he's like 3/5 of a person.
Yeah, that's true. And let her know that Abraham can help her with food. So,
okay.
That she doesn't have to steal it anymore.
You're down in the kitchens. You don't see Abraham there, but you show her where the kitchen is. And then she kind of looks at you questioningly and mimes laying her head down and then shrugs.
Just gonna tell her that she can sleep in the room where she was before, and that she doesn't have to stay in the corner if she doesn't want to, or she can move the cot over there if she wants to. You know, whatever she feels comfortable with. So.
She pulls her arms around herself and fakes a shiver.
I'll throw her an extra blanket. I'll let her use my blanket then. So,
she just
so that way she has an extra one. So yeah.
She reaches
Tell her
out.
I'll be back soon.
She tries to shake your hand.
Right, then,
God, women are so needy sometimes.
I know. It's like, what else do you want, bitch?
It's like, dude, got your own manservant here. I'll be back.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
shit.
just gonna shake her hand.
Just keep napping on some potatoes, man.
And
You're
smile
living the dream.
So,
All right,
and then
then
go together with everybody else and get ready to go, I guess.
Okay. Well, you find when you get down to the courtyard of the Kettle Keep, not outside of the Kettle Keep yet, but you find Pogo there heading towards the door. Sarah and Arteme are still up in the tower. You can probably hear them just barely talking over the blizzard because the tower is relatively open up there. But as far as Sarah and Arteme, how are you guys taking a while to make that then? To make a saddle fox?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna use all of there and try to find it first.
Okay. That's common enough where you probably would have at least some dried aloe vera. I don't know how useful dried aloe vera would be, but it doesn't stay for very long once it's been cut. So. But out in the courtyard, though, if Pogo and Norak are heading that way, you see that as soon as the about 40 or so that you counted, as soon as they're all in this group of halflings, you see the crowblinders that are milling around out there are heading out the same gates, going out through the front door in a single file line. And as soon as they've kind of started this march, the shell that had come in, two of them had a lit on the side of the wall and didn't go in to land in the courtyard, and they're kind of turning themselves around, and you see them lift off of their dragonflies again and fly out over in that same kind of the same direction that Norak had watched them fly earlier.
So basically, the crowblinders led these other halflings in here, and then the crowblinders are starting to march out?
No. So the crowblinders were in here already,
Okay.
but the shell, the kind of insectoid-looking people that are on these dragonflies, they escorted the halflings into the crow fort, and now the sum of these crowblinders, you would estimate probably around 400 or so.
Oh wait, so they're in the middle of the crow fort, not the middle of Kettle Keep.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your guys' is.
Oh yeah, no, I care much less now.
I'm also gonna make a mirth gel for Sorsha.
Oh, what gel?
Mirth. MYRRH. It's used for sore gums, mouth ulcers, or minor infections.
Myrrh? Like
Yeah,
Franken?
myrrh.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the sap stuff. Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's also common enough. So, right then, it'll probably take you for both to make both of those things. It'll probably take you about a half an hour.
Okay.
So Pogo and Norak are have a little bit of time out in the main courtyard of the central tour. But yeah, you guys see then the about 400 or so crowblinders that are leaving, and they're all like single file, which is strange because it's going to take a long time for 400 people to walk single file. But with the shell kind of the first two file out, and then a few minutes later, two more lift off that have come out of the courtyard, and they go after them, and so on. And then it's the same direction that Norak had seen them flying previously. What do you guys doing?
I'd just like to ask and be like, "Hey, what's going on? Are we Are you guys going back out for another battle? What's happening?
You're asking the Crowblinders?
Yeah, whoever the closest soldier is. Just what's going on in general here?
Okay. You see one of the it's a man, human man that gives you kind of a downcast look. He says, I've got family back home, man. I'm gonna have to go."
Oh, are you sure you don't want to stay and hang out? We're having fun. I've got a show maybe coming up in a few nights you might be interested in.
He gives you a very half-hearted smile. You kind of realize then that this must be the group that when Pepperjack was speaking yesterday, in the afternoon after the battle, after the Crowford had been summoned, that the Crowblinders that wanted to could leave.
Where are you guys planning on going?
I've got to get back to the Empire before things get worse. I mean, everybody's kind of going their own ways, but just right now we're just trying to get through the legion that's still surrounding us. That's what these guys are for. And he kind of points up at the sky.
Oh, so they're gonna make a hole, and then you guys are going to escape.
As best we can. I mean, I expect some of us won't make it, but we at least got to try.
I'm gonna turn back. Can I see Norok and the rest of the group, or is it just me and Norok out here?
It's just you and Norok out there. Sarah and Artemis are still up in her tower, as far as you know.
All right. Is there any way? What's your game plan here specifically when you guys go out the gates? Are they just throwing bombs left and right?
That's what they did to get these halflings in. So I'm hoping that'll be enough to keep us largely safe. And if we have to fight them off, there's just too many. We'll end up getting overrun. But yeah, I mean, our game plan is to run. Simple answer.
All right. Well, me and I don't know if I can't speak for him yet, but we're gonna be able to help out too. Do you have anything shiny or expensive on you that might be tradable for us to act as bodyguards while you guys run for your lives to hopeful freedom and your families?
He says, I mean, we're soldiers. We are Crowblinders, at least in name, for a little while longer. I think we'll be all right there. But I mean, we appreciate everything you did for us already.
All right. So nothing shiny at all. Do I see any baubles or anything like that on this guy?
So are you? Give me a perception check.
All right.
Where I thought you were going to go with that is let me help you out by taking some of those some of that weight off your shoulders.
Why am I blanking here? Oh, there we go.
It doesn't look like it. I mean, it looks like he's packed for for a skirmish, like a run, and ready to fight if he needs to. But it doesn't look like anything valuable beyond his own gear.
All right. Well, I'll give him a little pat on the lower back and be like, "All right. Well, good luck. People for me as you're leaving."
From behind you, you hear Mercutio. Boy, are you a sight for sore eyes! And there's a clap on the back of your shoulder.
Oh, is it a guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
It's not as bad as it could be.
Well, you turn and you see the man that looked vaguely familiar to you, halfling. He says, "It's me, Dallin's brother."
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna pull him to the side, I'd be like, "Oh, it's interesting to see you." And then how far away is Norok and everyone?
Well, is Norok standing there, just watching Pogo walk away?
He's there. Oh, you must. Here, wait. I think I know who you're trying to find. Come here. And I'm gonna try to take him kind of just further away. Is he all beaten up from just getting in this fort?
He's a little bruised up. Go ahead, give me a persuasion check. Norok, Pogo is accosted by this halfling, and then Pogo tries to yank him away, pulling him away from you. It's clear that he's avoiding you specifically. You're just letting him walk?
Yeah.
Not trying to listen in or anything? Not curious what it is that Pogo is clearly trying to avoid you?
Well, I'm just gonna keep an eye on him and just watch what he's doing and just stand there, obviously just stare right at him and just not even move, but just see how far away he walks and just stare at him the entire time and just smile and just see what he's doing.
And I'm gonna be like, you look beat up. Come on, here, follow me. I know a place we can get a pint in ya and get you some food. Come on. And I'm gonna kind of pull him over to the side of a building where there are not a lot of people and be like, Oh yeah. So how have you been? How are you? How are? And I'm gonna try to make it look like I'm just having a normal conversation with a stranger. No like pats on the back or handshakes, and like I'm just talking to them about something.
Okay, well you're trying to keep it at arm's length, but he is like trying to pull you in for a hug, like pat you on the shoulder. Like he's very buddy. He says to you, he says, Dallin, she's been worried sick about you leaving in such a rush as you did.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. The problem is this war. So I ended up having to be commissioned by a mercenary group. You've seen me perform. You've seen some of the things I can do, and there were a lot of lives at stake. And unfortunately, I had to go. Now here's the problem: I'm undercover here.
Oh,
people don't know me by
them
that.
assassins? Them assassins were still after you?
There's a lot of people still after me, and unfortunately, I got to keep everything quiet in this group and make sure that everything. Because I mean, lives are at stake. Our lives, possibly all the halflings' lives that just came in. Even some of the soldiers are leaving right now. So we're on an important message. So I need you to call me Pogo from now on until everything settles down.
Pogo?
She's not here, right? She's not here.
No, she's not here. She's going to be over the moon when she hears you're alive, though. I mean, you're going to come back when this is all over, right? I mean, make an honest woman out of her?
I mean, of course. That's absolutely what's on my mind every day that I wake up. I can't stop thinking about her, but there's more important things at stake right now. And those things have to be taken care of. So in the meantime... Right.
You did roll pretty good. This could go badly. Oh, no, you're fine.
Oh, no.
There's just the slightest glimpse of like distrust in his eyes for a second, and then when you finish your sentence, he's kind of fades back over, and he just looks his like kind of happy self. His name was Bert, by the way. You remember, like halfway through the conversation, and his sister.
Bert, that's right. I mean, yes, of course. So, this is but I might need your help here though on some of this. Things that are happening, so I might call on you if you need. How are you doing with a sword, and can you handle yourself in this type of situation? I know we just pulled you in, but can you handle yourself okay?
Oh yeah, no, we're and he kind of looks back over the group. He says, "We're hardy folk. We'll be just fine."
Is there anyone else in that group that I might know?
Billy. I think Billy. Did you meet him? Was Dallin's her old boyfriend?
It doesn't ring a bell, but things have been pretty crazy lately. Tell you what, can you keep this secret for me?
Pogo?
Bert, yeah, can you? Yeah, Pogo. That's basically just Pogo, And I'm a traveling performer, as you know. We can keep that going. Tell you what, if you can keep that a secret, see that building over there? I'm staying there, and it's basically got run of the place. I'll let you stay there. You can hang out, and we have our personal butler and everything, if you can keep that a secret.
I always knew you was rich folk.
Well, rich for right now, but maybe I can bring it back to your sister if all goes well. Hopefully I'm still breathing.
He kind of pulls his hands up behind his head like he's like stretching his arms kind of thing. He says, I suppose I can do that. I can keep your secret for us off bed.
Oh, that's... What's future family for, am I right?
he chuckles and pats you on the shoulder again.
So I'm going to bring him back.
You're seeing all of this, by the way. It looks...
I'm going to bring him back to Norok. I'm going to be like, I didn't recognize him before, so I was a little worried. But this is my friend Bert. We've known each other for a while. Sometimes in passing, but we used to work together in the entertainment field. Isn't that right, Bert?
All right, hang on. Let's see.
Long time ago.
There's a subtle pause. If you're trying to disbelieve potentially, you can roll an insight check, G. But there's kind of this too long pause, and then he grins and looks back up at you.
He's had a very hard day, so he's a little out of it. I said he could go ahead and stay back at our Kettle Keep. He's a good man, trustworthy. I can vouch for him. Yeah,
Pogo here has been. Oh, he's been my friend for going on, what, a year, 2 years now?
Probably about somewhere between 16 and 32 months.
That sounds about right. I would say 16 to 32 months, right on the dot.
Yes.
Yes. You don't believe him at all, G. It's clear that this is like this is obviously a sham that Pogo like cooked up within the last 45 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm obviously going to take note of that, but also, I guess what that insight check did, because obviously I didn't hear the conversation. Does Bert seem like nervous or anything? Like Pogo was trying to fuck with him? You know, like does he seem, well, like scared? I guess of Pogo or anything?
No, with your insight check, no. He seems comfortable with Pogo. It's just clear that they're lying to you.
Okay, because see, I knew. I mean, well, I guess an inside check told me that, but I mean, I'm used to Pogo shenanigans so far. So as long as Bert doesn't seem like he's afraid of Pogo, then I'm not gonna.
No,
I'm just gonna go along with it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna ask any questions or anything really. I'm just gonna like, oh, cool, nice to meet you, Bert, and all that good shit. You know.
I'm gonna be like, all right, Bert, there it is. Go relax. Put your stuff down. Have a pint on me.
Do you need like a
talk to.
passcode, or do I need to,
No,
tell
can
him
just-
to password the door? Do I need a key?
And then when you meet the guy who's running or helping us out with the place, just make sure you do this. And you got to do this special dance. And I'm gonna have him like flap his arms a little bit, kind of like do the first part of the chicken dance, and then he'll know he's with us. And I'm just gonna watch as he goes into Kettle Keep and does that to the guy. And then I'm just gonna wave and be like, yeah.
Just a big wide grin. He practices it a little bit as he's walking. His back to you as he's walking towards the.
And I'm like, no rock, watch this.
What are Arteme and Sarah up to?
Did we finish the tincture?
Yeah, it took you about a half hour. I mean, they've been down there for probably 20 minutes or so at this point, watching the Crowblinders file out. So, I mean, you're basically finishing up by now. And as you're finishing up, you do hear someone. You hear a jovial-sounding male voice coming in through the front gate of the Kettle Keep.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give the tincture I made for Sarah to her, and then go find Sorsha. And then I'm gonna go see if I can find a dragonfly to study before we leave, because I really want to.
Okay. There are 8 of them still in the courtyard right now, and you can see them from your tower, so you know that they're there. It takes you a while to find Sorsha, probably a good 5 minutes, just because she isn't in Norok's room. But she wasn't in the area that you kind of expected her to be. But eventually, kind of following your nose, you do find her. She needs more bathing still, but you do find her, and she looks very suspicious of you. She's not sure what to do or what to say. Well, not saying you can't speak, but
yeah, I'll just tell her this is for you. Just put it in your mouth. It'll help with the pain. And then gently put it on a table or something next to her, not to like scare her or anything, and then slowly walk away.
Because she had kind of shrugged away from you, like towards the wall, like she was trying to just be out of the way as much as possible. But when you say that, and it's clear that you're not like trying to hurt her or throw her out, she just kind of nods, and just shrinks back against the wall.
Okay, I'll just nod back and leave the room. I don't want to scare the poor girl.
Sure. And you're making your way out to the courtyard where the shell are.
Yeah.
And their animals. Did I give you the thing for that?
I don't think so.
Okay, let me find it for you real quick. Because you actually know the name, you've just never seen one before. So you would be. They're called pricks.
Okay.
What did you say?
Pricks.
Pricks.
Or crick. A singular is a crick.
Oh, with a C.
Yeah.
All right.
And plural is a cricks. I just shared it too. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll go and share it to everybody. It's just a big dragonfly.
Okay, that's so cute though. You could almost put a saddle on it, and then Sarah could.
They have saddles on them,
Yeah.
and the humanoids that are riding them are kind of insectoid in like their armor looks relatively insectoid, but they're still kind of human. Basically, it looks like they're humans in armor is the impression you get.
Okay.
But anyways, they ride these. They have saddles on each of them with kind of a saddle blanket kind of a thing hanging down on either side that are full of pockets, and in those pockets are all their munitions that they've been throwing.
Okay. Yeah.
But when you make your way out to the courtyard, though, they're all the 4 of the reds are gone. So there's 2 blues, a white, a black, and then the rest are reds. And they're all like they're sitting on them, so that they kind of all of them. As soon as you even approach, all of them their eyes are trained like right on you, like staring right at you. They're not saying anything; they're just staring at you. The dragonflies aren't unaccompanied; they're all mounted.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and ask if I could steady one for a bit.
You get very puzzled looks, and that's it. Silence.
Okay. So I'll just go around it steadying it for 10 minutes.
You're gonna have to. Well, okay. I'll say it this way: it's an extremely uncomfortable situation because they just stare at you, and it seems like it could be a maybe hostile look. Not the dragonflies. The dragonflies don't seem to care. They don't seem to be very intelligent either. But the riders though don't seem like they would be happy if you approached.
Well, I'm not gonna go too far or too close.
Okay. So just from a distance, kind of just walking in circles around them enough to get a good view of them and everything?
I'm not gonna go close to the riders, but yeah.
Okay. I'll say that generally the 10-minute is you need to be able to like physically interact with it, like if it's a non-hostile creature to actually like touch it and play with it and stuff, like a dog might be. But
Well,
an hour long would be, an actual hostile creature from a distance. We'll just split the difference. We'll say that it's going to take you like 20, 25 minutes, you think, of studying it from this distance, because it's not really hostile to you. You're just not able to really like get up there and like squish its paws and look at what its eyes shape like, things like that. But you feel pretty confident after a while that you think you probably could. So go ahead and give me a nature check.
Okay.
Good roll. Yeah. You're not capable of taking this shape yet, but you feel pretty confident that you've kind of memorized the form enough that you could probably replicate this in time.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Level 8 is when you're flying animals. So.
Yeah.
What is Sarah up to?
As soon as I get the salve, I just thank Arteme and then go find out where the hell that voice is coming from.
So Arteme actually would have, well, maybe depending on where he went. If you're following the male's voice in the jovial voice bird.
Yeah, if he came in the keep just to find out who it was.
Yeah, Arteme may have passed him, but you didn't hear them talk. So that you get the impression she probably didn't pass him. But he's actually not being quiet. He's a little bit boisterous, like just based on the sound of his voice. You end up tracking him down, and you find this red-haired halfling man who he's got a pretty hefty bruise on the side of his head. And as soon as he sees you, he's kind of startled for a second, and he looks at you, and then he starts flapping his arms, and he says, "This is what I was going to do." Is it like this?
Can I see it? Can Pogo see this?
No, he's inside the cave.
Oh, darn.
He says, "I think it was like this." And he kind of pauses for a second. It was Pogo. He told me. Pogo told me to come in here and find you and to do this. And he's still waving his arms.
He did.
His elbows are like cracking against his ribs.
It's funny because it's not really a secret code, but people are going to see it and they'll be like, "Yep, that sounds about right for that." So.
Jackson?
Well dressed. No, Pogo. Pogo said to come in. He said to come find the caretaker, but you're a lot better dressed than I would expect a caretaker to be.
Yeah, I'm not the caretaker. That would be Abraham, and he's probably in the kitchen.
Can I stop doing this now, then?
Absolutely.
I'm kind of fall to his side. He says, "Oh, you said the kitchen then? Like, I suppose I should go see him and do the chicken thing, right?"
You don't have to do that. Is there a reason why Pogo sent you in here?
Pogo, he said that this is the code. This is the secret way to get in. That I could stay here while you guys are gone.
Really?
He kind of shrugs. Give me. I think a perception check to see whether you caught that he accidentally said half of a name there.
Alright. Perception?
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely caught that he stumbled on a different name before saying Pogo. You didn't get the entire name. You heard maybe Mer, M-E-R.
Okay. Yeah, just go ahead and go see Abraham in the kitchen and just tell him, I guess, to find you an empty room.
I'll do that. Thank you, miss. Are you friends with Pogo then?
sort of. The whole group kind of lives here. I'm Serafina, by the way.
Oh, and he reaches his hand up to shake yours. I'm Bert. I came in with a crowd of irregulars.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Bert. I'm gonna go find Pogo.
Have fun. Be safe out there if you're going on his secret spy mission and all. Those assassins been after him for at least
Damn it, Mercutio!
16 to 32 months, I think.
Damn it, Bert!
Assassins?
They're dangerous folk. He had to run in the middle of the night. I mean, we've been dead scared for so long that he didn't make it. So just you be careful out there. He's tough. He can probably protect you. Just stay close to him.
I will be sure to do that. And I'm walking away.
As he makes his way towards the kitchens then. All right. So when you make your way out to the courtyard, then you see Arteme kind of very carefully, keeping a safe distance, but kind of walking circles around the cricks and the shell there. Norok is kind of standing there watching the soldiers leave. There's probably maybe 100 or so left that are still making their way out the front, and otherwise just everybody's out there kind of prepared in the courtyard. What are you guys up to?
I am going to see if any of the other crow blinders that we know that are friends with, let them know that while we're gone, or they want to go get some areas in the Kettle Keep while they're here, if it's more comfortable for them, they feel free, and don't steal anything that's ours, but feel free to go hang out there.
The first one that you see that that you at least know well enough to be able to say anything to, is Samson, and he's actually standing outside the keep, and he's jotting something on like a journal, like a little book, writing it.
I'll walk up to him, and what I'll do is I'll tell him to basically, Samson, if you and the other crow blinders would feel more comfortable, feel free to go ahead and use the Kettle Keep while we're gone, if it makes your lives easier.
He gives you a wide smile and kind of reaches down and pats you on the shoulder. He says, "That's very, very thoughtful of you, Gleeman. I appreciate that. We've had some tough few weeks, so we might." How many
of the men have decided to go try their luck back home as of now?
That's kind of what I'm recording right here. Quill asked me to keep a count of them, and looks like we're going to lose about 400 or so, which is going to leave us with, I'm guessing, around 1,600.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, can't make everyone happy.
He's got a solemn smile. He says, "Yeah, we set out with nearly 20,000, and that's what's left."
All right. Well, good luck. We're going to go on this mission of ours, and hopefully that'll bring a swifter end to this entire skirmish and battles that we've been doing. So, all right. Good luck with you. And I'm going to go ahead and walk away and probably wait wherever we need to wait to go to the next location. Probably find Ozzy, I'd assume. Or, Ozzy, I think, is the one that's helping us, sending us out.
Ozzy is the one that's going to be teleporting you guys out. So,
yep. So I'm going to go and... I'm going to go eat breakfast, actually. I'm going to go have some food at the
Crow's Nest
area. The Crow's Nest, yeah.
It's quiet, and it is the morning, of course, but there is kind of this is the first time since you guys have seen the Crow Fort raised that it actually seems a little bit almost dour. Like it's clear that it's upsetting a lot of folks, that friends and some of the people they just fought next to for pretty harsh battles anyways are leaving. But it's pretty much empty. There's only a handful of people in there, and there's just the jovial atmosphere is very much gone. But Wilson is still behind the bar.
I'm gonna go just get some breakfast with Wilson, and I think that's it for right now.
Okay. It's stew from the night before, but it's warmed up and everything, so it doesn't taste great.
Cold stew. You ever had cold stew? It's fantastic.
The congealed stuff on top.
You mix it in. You get a nice Jello on top.
All right, maybe. All right, Pogo, Sarah, and Arteme, what are you guys up to? Arteme, you've had time to study the crick by now. So.
Okay. I'll see if the others are ready to go.
Norok and Sarah?
I'm still looking for Pogo.
Pogo,
Sorry.
he's pretty much disappeared. Yeah, you didn't see him when you came out. And there's so many tracks in the snow, it'd be hard to identify which one is, or especially now that 40 more halflings have just shown up. But you do see a group of halflings that are probably 6 or 8 of them or so that are heading towards towards the northwest. Has Sarah been to the Crow's Nest yet? I don't think she has she?
No.
Yeah. So they're heading off to the northwest. There is a fireplace there. So there's smoke coming from there. Basically, it's the only place right now that there's any smoke coming from. You're guessing that's probably where like a tavern kind of an area would be, or a barracks or a mess hall.
All right, I'll head that way.
Making your way in, the place is massive, but as soon as you're in there, there's a small woman that's standing by the door that's not emaciated, but looks like she hasn't eaten very much lately. It's a pro-blinder standing by the door. She says, Miss Sarah, isn't it?
Yes.
Can I help you find something?
I'm looking for Pogo. I'm actually looking for Pogo. Have you seen him?
Oh yeah, that lecherous little wretch. He's back that way. And he points. She points back to the like main tavern room area.
Thank you.
Wait, who was that? I wasn't paying attention.
I was just a pro-blinder woman.
Okay.
Whether Pogo knows her or not, you don't know. But Sarah doesn't know her, so
Get a rep.
But you make your way into the kind of larger tavern room area. It's mostly empty. There is a man behind the counter that you've met before, Rook's assistant, and then at the bar is little Pogo up on a very tall bar stool, like kind of hunched over a bowl.
All right, so I'll just sit down next to him.
Oh, are we leaving? And I'm just gonna start eating my food fast.
Shovel it fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably here in a minute. You can take your time eating.
Oh, okay.
So, Pogo, what exactly is your full name? Because all you've ever said is Pogo.
Well, I mean, Pogo, Marsupial, Albatross, Angelo. So I go by Pogo because the rest of my names, there's so many syllables and people get caught up and then they think it's Albatross is actually Alvatros and there's a B, not a V, but you're trying to say it and you're like A is in apple, L is in lima, and it's so long and frustrating.
Right. Do I believe him?
Make a deception. Well, I should have said that. Make a persuasion check on Pogo, and Sarah, you make an insight check. It'll be a contested roll.
All right, wait. What did you ask for me to roll?
Well, it's going to be deception. In general, how as a DM you would do that, Justin? We did this once in our other game, but it would be you would ask the player to roll either a persuasion or deception, and then it's up to them whether they're lying or not. Yeah, you believe him.
Okay. So about these assassins, do we need to worry about those? Because you never mention them.
No, so the problem is I guess you talked to Bart. Bart isn't exactly the brightest tool in the shed. He's one of those people. He's a bit clingy and he's a bit frustrating to be around sometimes. And I had to tell him a story in order to just get him off my back a long time ago. It's not actually true. It's just a bit of a tale I told him. You've met him. He's not exactly. Did he do a dance for you?
Yeah,
that's his thing. He just goes up to people and he dances. It's not. He's not 100%, right in the head. But he's a fine man. He's a true lad. He won't steal anything or do anything bad. But I figured I know him and I know his family, so he can stay at the fort. It's not really gonna hurt anything. I figured. Plus, it looks like he's had a bit of a hard time. And you know what? It looks like he's learned how to take care of himself fairly well. So, maybe it'll come in handy later.
Right, so you were trying to get rid of him, but then you told him he could stay at the keep?
Well, I mean, he's going to be here regardless. I'm going to be seeing him. At least this way he's comfortable. I don't have to explain why he can't stay at the keep.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to go find the others and go find
Alright, wait. I'm going to come with you. Then I'm gonna go ahead and eat whatever's left on my food and chug my beer real quick. Then I'm gonna follow her out.
Okay. You make your way out towards the keep, and by now, as soon as because you have to cross, I think I've shown you guys the Pro Fort map, but you basically have to cross by the front of the main gate of the center keep when you're heading back towards the courtyard where Arteme was studying the crick and Norak is standing around in the snow. And when you're walking that direction, you see Ozzy is now standing in the doorway of the main keep, like basically off to the side, the same place as the Samson's on the other side. Samson's still there jotting in the journal, but Ozzy's standing there.
All right. Are we ready to do this thing? Oh, what's the weather like where we're going? Does anyone know? Because it's fucking cold here. Is it going to be a little more tropical?
Are you...
Do I need to bring a hat?
Like, Ozzy isn't close enough to be able to hear you yet.
Oh, I'm talking to Serafina then.
Okay.
Do you know?
I don't know. Do I know?
Give me a...
Do I know?
So both of you make intelligence checks. Arteme definitely knows, but she's far away. Both of you give me intelligence checks.
God, I don't think I've rolled over like a 4 in intelligence the fucking entire game. I am the dumbest motherfucker.
But that's character appropriate, though. Like,
It's true.
Smart. Like it's more fun that he kind of tries to weasel his way through stuff. Sarah, though, yeah, you've definitely read about the Monodoran Isles. It is extremely humid and hot. It's wintertime, so it's probably not as hot as normal, but it's still going to be extremely humid. But it is very tropical. In fact, it's
sounds fantastic.
Yeah, jungle-like almost.
I'm gonna get a nice tan. Jungle-like. Better.
Yeah.
What if we see a tiger or something that's like a tiger but not a tiger? That's gonna be great. Can't wait. I mean, they'll probably try to murder us like everything else in the world, but you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
fun.
let's hope we don't get eaten.
I mean, are you sure you don't want to get eaten? And I'm gonna wink at her. That might be the dirtiest fucking thing I've said in this entire game so far.
Well, I'm just glad I have a broom so I can just float above you in your perfect snack size.
Just 2 on the nose. I apologize. I'm gonna actually apologize for that one. I am sorry. That was rude of me.
All right, so by this time, Arteme, you're pretty confident that you figured out exactly, kind of how this thing moves and how it operates. That you're pretty confident you can replicate it and semi-functional as far as flying is concerned.
Okay.
So Norak is still nearby you, watching the soldiers filtering out of the Pro Fort here, and then you hear Sarah and Pogo talking off to one side, over kind of near where the central keep is, and looking that direction. You see Ozzy standing in the doorway like he's reading.
Oh, okay. I'll go see Ozzy before we go then, and wait at Sarah.
Okay. What is Norak doing?
If it looks like they're all waiting, I'll add that way too.
Okay. Then you follow behind Arteme then. Focus on the keep. Ozzy, when he sees you, he kind of, Arteme gives you a wide smile. He says, well, I hope you folks had a nice rest. You guys sleep okay?
I'll just nod.
It's going to be long, the journey you're on. I mean, I know you've been there before, of course. Were you born there? I know you're of those people, but were you born in the Monodoran Isles?
I just kind of shake my head.
I was gonna say, if you ask me questions like that, you're gonna have to answer those questions as well, okay, Jeremy?
Well, I mean,
I don't know where I'm from. My
that's-
background's not detailed enough.
Oh well, that's true too. I do need some more details, of course.
Yeah.
Back, she does have family there. I just don't know specifics on that family. But is everybody gathered? Like, you guys see Arteme and Norak kind of approaching up to Ozzy or Sarah, Pogo? You guys heading over there as well?
Hi, I'm ready to get this show on the road. We got to get our friend maybe up and running so we can go do some murders.
He gives all of you a big smile, kind of looking over the group. He turns his back and heads back into the keep. Obviously, he's kind of motioning for you guys to follow. And as he's leading you guys back towards the... What's that?
While we're walking, I'd actually like to talk to Arteme and be like, so, I've never been here. Should I know any, is there any local customs and cultural things that I should be wary of? Not saying any specific words or hand gestures or magical techniques, anything that's going to piss people off.
I'll just shrug at him and say there hasn't been any non-elves there in a century.
Right, I'm gonna use the hat of disguise real quick to make myself about 4.5 feet tall with some pointy ears, look like an elf. Would this work, or do you think this is not gonna fly?
I'm just gonna look at him and say that is pretty insulting.
All right, didn't mean to.
Or some people take it that way.
Yeah, cultural appropriation. I understand, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn myself back normal. I'm actually going to use that though to give myself a very dull appearance, kind of like just grays and browns and tans with kind of a. I'm gonna make it appear so I don't have the hat on, just a hood and a cloak, so that I appear more now. And it's gonna be camouflage since we're gonna be going into like a jungly area. So it's gonna be like kind of more hidden and be like, is this better? Is this? I think this will not stand out as much.
I'm just gonna shake my head at him.
All right.
Keep walking.
Super helpful. Appreciate your help, Arteme. As always, it's so great.
By then, you guys have made it to the teleportation room, the same circle that Sarah and Norak found Ozzy in earlier yesterday. As soon as you get there, though, Ozzy kind of steps inside, turns around to face all of you. He says, Miss Arteme, I'm sure you already know this, of course, but the Monodoran elves have long since disabled their teleportation circles into the cities. So the best nexus that I have would be at Ilmaeus, where we held the Council of Worms during Dragon's Forges. I'm afraid I don't know how the place fared after the onslaught of the Vine Lash, however. So it should be above the waves at least, but it may be in ruins, it may be overrun with...
Did you say it should be above the waves?
I'm mostly certain that it is above the waves.
That's super reassuring.
Yeah.
Does everyone here know how to swim? Norak, for some reason I feel like you might not.
Well, the good news is that if you teleport into it and you're in the water still, you'll have at least a short amount of time to get yourself to the surface quickly. You'll be able to breathe for a few seconds.
I'm gonna give them all some of the root seed that we got last time we went out on the water because we didn't need it. It would let us. It would allow us to water breathe for up to as a precaution.
Yeah, it's not something you even take. It's just a reed that you hold over your mouth and breathe through.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give them to everybody just in case.
Is this the kind of thing you can do if you were just maybe a foot underneath the water?
You could do, well. It's basically if you were too far under pressure would be the problem, not breathing. But if you're anywhere in water, you can hold this reed over your mouth and breathe through it for up to an hour.
Oh wow, fantastic!
It's like a long. Think of it like kelp, like seaweed, like a long, like dried piece of seaweed that you just tie it around like a bandana over your nose and your mouth, breathing through it. And there's enough oxygen in it, so you're basically breathing what's oxygen that's stored in the plant.
Freaking neat. Also, I don't have my Rocky Talkie in my inventory. Is that just, are we just assuming we all have one?
Yeah, he handed them to each of you. I didn't put it on your.
Perfect.
Yeah, but if you have
just want to make sure you weren't trying to do some DM thing and be like, none of you remembered your Rocky Talkies. You live here now.
He says, and speaking of Fogo, with that, I mean, you can, reach out to myself or the commander. We both have ours. Just remember that long distances like that, the messages have to be short at this point. But amongst yourselves, you're able to talk as long as you're within about a mile or so. You'll be able to talk as much as you'd like. So just keep that in mind. Where you're going, though, Ilmaeus is maybe 1 to 2 days march north of the capital where you need to get to, which is Merethalis. Of course, Arteme knows this. That's the name of the capital. That's where you're trying to get to.
Oh, we're going to the capital?
Well, he said, actually, really, you don't necessarily know if that's where you need to go or not, but that's where most of the elves are, because the islands were pretty badly wiped out, so almost all the other cities, most of the other centers of any kind of commerce or where government would be, were just destroyed. And the capital is pretty much the only place where the elves still live on the island. Unless they have camps and things like that. Basically, as far as any significant...
Who destroyed them again?
Okay, so...
Humans? I didn't read the fucking book you wrote.
To be honest, it was actually kind of Becky that wiped them out. So that, like, at some point you should read that because it does have information that will be important later on. But is a very important right now for this part, and then also more later on. Basically, a year ago, the characters from the previous campaign, they were basically they created these super powerful artifacts, kind of like the arcs, kind of like the rock.
I'll read that. So all I needed to know if it doesn't sound like they specifically are like, oh, humans did this, I hate humans, or it was orcs, or it was ever. It's basically just more of a cosmic happening.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's not. They don't hold that particular event against humans, but I would say that you do have some awareness that there is a human nation that is on the Monodoran Isles as well. That is just northwest of Gwynsair. That's where Kin Ado is. It's where the Red Kindle Priest, the guy with no hand, is where he's from. But anyways, that nation was almost untouched by the Vine Lash. So it wiped out the elves, the elves' islands, basically. In fact, here, I'll give you guys the maps for it. But it pretty much wiped out all the elves, but left the humans just fine. So although they didn't actually cause it, there's still this kind of conflict that the humans didn't say, hey, you can come live on our lands and so on. And then there's still that kind of awkwardness of them being kind of, although they didn't cause it, being otherwise untouched by it.
And I'm gonna lean to Serafina and be like, so I've got an idea. I can get on your shoulders, and then I can make my face look like an elf, and I can make us wear a long cloak, and we can do like two persons pretending to be an elf trick, as if we were getting into the elf movies. I'm just kidding. You think I'm actually serious right now?
Yeah.
So that's there's other islands further northwest, but Kin Ado is the one that's in the northwest, and then the kind of jungle area and all the ruins. That's where the Vine Lash kind of just wiped all of that out, and kind of killed most of the people there. That's why most of the islands are ruins and kind of swampy and jungly. This map here, though, so I'm going to show you this one that you guys have seen before. Everybody remember this map?
Yeah.
All right.
I love the detail.
Yeah, that's how good I am. I made the other maps too, but that software just doesn't have much to it, and I'm not very good at drawing maps. The other software, the one that the good maps come from, is kind of just drop stuff on a map. So this one here, I'm going to share it again. This one has all the others layered on top of it. You guys know where the places you've been.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
All right, so this one, you can see the one that's the largest one on the top there. That is the City of Mist, which is, Justin, for your game, that's Neverwinter. And Phandalin is to the southeast and everything. So Ben and Becky, that is where most of Rose and Thorn took place, was in that area there. And then the in fact, here. So that's the Monodoran Isles there. This is the capital city of Mist. So when you guys end up going to the capital, if you go there later, that's where you're going. It's there. And then this is where Kiedis and Ivarum were from, or where they their fake memories were implanted from. That's the area there, which is Pale. And then this is the borderland, where you guys are at right now, where Dunstapak is.
Way the fuck out here.
Yeah, but you're being teleported all the way over here, and then presumably you can teleport back and everything.
And on a holiday. Do we get double pay or anything for this being a holiday, guys?
You get overtime, but as soon as you're in the airport, it's like a 4-hour wait to get on the plane. So.
Is that a Chili's here?
there's a Sabaro, and there's one guy.
Is that a Cinnabon?
No Cinnabon. The one guy that's running it, it's clear that he's not cooking anything. That's probably been under a heat lamp for 3 hours because the line is super long because the only place open. Yeah. Yep.
Jeremy loves airports.
But he says the Gwynsair capital, though, it's going to take you probably a day or two to get south, and then expect some obstructions. As much as the Vine Lash kind of wiped out a lot of the civilization there, it also caused a lot of kind of aberrant plant growth and things like that. So just be very careful. The flora and the fauna are not going to be friendly to you. The vistas were beautiful the last time I visited, but don't let that fool you, because the elves are mostly in harmony with their homeland, sure, but it's just not a welcoming place to outsiders.
Are they going to be pissed if we have to murder something that's trying to murder us?
He just looks at Arteme.
Don't even ask her; she won't tell you.
I'll just say probably. It's been a while, but we normally don't kill more than we need to.
All right. You get a B point then.
So anything
walk around.
we're gonna have to use.
All right. Well, I've got camouflage, so.
He kind of chuckles, looking at you, and says, "Yeah, I bet you'll blend right in. You'll be just fine." At least elves are generally tall folk, and I mean you're on the shorter end, so maybe they'll just look right over and not even see you.
There you go. Did you hear my idea about me being on Seraphina's shoulders?
Yeah, I heard. I wasn't really
Just walking awkwardly.
Yeah. Of course,
Alright.
it would be, you put the lady having to do all the work, right?
I mean, I don't think I can change her face to look more like an elf.
No, I'm just gonna smile and be like, well, I am stronger than he is, so.
Probably. In fact.
I think that's a flat out given. Like, I'm pretty sure because she's pretty strong.
Oh yeah, I'm not that.
You have a negative 2 modifier.
-2.
Yeah, I have +2.
Yeah, I don't like carrying things.
Well, I mean, hopefully this is as quick and painless as possible. I mean, you understand what your goals are. I spoke with Miss Sarah last night for a little bit to give you a little bit of information, at least what I have about the Wind Sage's Chorus and what it can do. So if you can manage to convince the elves to let you borrow it for a short while and bring it back here, I'll make certain that it gets returned to them safely. So just do what you can. The difference, if we're not able to recover this, the devastation that this impending war would bring could be catastrophic. I mean, we're talking. The Empire isn't just going to let Vabi run over the Reach and the other borderlands there. So as soon as they do, they'll launch more and more escalating attacks until the area is uninhabitable, and it might spread, get worse and worse.
So basically, we're trying to stop the entire nation from being at war. We're trying to stop something of a massive scale war before it even has a chance to begin.
Exactly.
Oh, this seems like the perfect group.
He kind of shrugs. He says, "With the luck you guys have had so far, I'm just holding out hope that that it stays, that it sticks, and you guys manage to pull it out again."
Well, this does sound like more of a mission that requires a scalpel, less of a warhammer, if you know what I mean.
Yep, very much so. That's why we're sending you and not squadrons of soldiers.
I'm not gonna look up at Norak and be like, except maybe him. Make yourself look very small.
He says, "Well, I mean, if you have any other questions, now's the time, because we might as well get the show on the road."
Should we bring
Where
any?
the artifact is?
As far as I know, it's in Merethalis, but I haven't been to actually confirm that.
Do you
I
know
know
any
the elves have it, and
contacts?
it's the only place that I imagine they would do.
Do you know any contacts in Merethalis that might be able to help?
Let's just say that I haven't been there in a very long time. Sarah, you having your history, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I was pretty sure you were. He mentioned the Council of Worms, and that was 230-ish years ago.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I would say that would be a little bit of a surprise to you. You probably didn't know that he was old, or that old, let's say. Humans don't typically live that long, of course. But anyways, that is apparently the last time he was there. So as far as contacts, I'm afraid I can't help you too much. The Monodoran elves don't really speak to us anymore. Really anyone outside of their own folks. So Miss Artemis is probably your best bet there.
Do we have enough food? I've got about 5 days of rations with me. How's everyone else doing?
I'm gonna ask Ozzy if he thinks that the artifact would be in official channels or on the black market.
Something of this power, unless it was lost when the Vine Lash destroyed most of the island, I can't imagine it being in anyone's control other than the council themselves.
That might make it a bit trickier to actually.
I mean, it's possible that these are, they do change hands occasionally, but they almost always end up in the most powerful because really they're worth any price. So anyone that does find it usually ends up, instead of trying to save it for themselves, try to earn as much political clout or money as they can for it by selling it to someone stronger.
I mean, if we can't reason with their sensitivities towards other people and the braveness of the situation, perhaps there's something else we could get. Perhaps we can get something else that we could trade them for. You know how these people are. They hoard all the magical items. Maybe we can find something that we'd be able to work with them. A little scratch their back, they'll give us magical items type situation.
There isn't a lot more valuable than an arc, though. Especially not one of. I mean, this one's pretty legendary.
All right, we'll steal it.
The council normally wants an artifact. They commission 100 to get it.
Well, this isn't. These can't be created anymore. At least it's been long. Like nobody knows how to make arcs anymore. This is something that's kind of been passed down through the ages. The same way that the old rock is invaluable and irreplaceable. The Wood Sage's Chorus is the same. In fact, actually, Arteme, you found notes when you guys first got to Dunskathak. You found notes about the Wood Sage's Chorus in the Mefud ruins that were below Dunskathak.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's something everybody's heard of it before. It'd be like hearing of Excalibur.
No, but if the council did have it, they would keep it secret. But they do often hire people like me to go in and find such relics, which is the issue.
Yeah, I mean, all the
to trade,
yeah.
Either to trade or to even borrow it, we would have to have something to put up as collateral.
Ozzy says that's likely fair. Yeah, I mean, you probably will need to, be very convincing, and on top of that, still provide them with some assurances that you'll be, returning it. They won't give it up. That's just not done.
If it was on the black market, it would be a lot easier to track down and actually acquire than giving it to the council after using it would be easier. And that
maybe.
I'll have to check with a few contacts, but I'll have to check with them alone.
Hi, Justin. Any other questions before you guys head out?
So what were we supposed to do with the teleportation circle paper thing? I just draw it and then let him know?
So you draw it, and so basically you draw it and then you let him know over the stone that you're ready, and you have to channel it with at least a first level spell. The higher the spell that you will channel into, I'm going to say it's just a spell slot. You're not actually casting a spell. You're just using the arcane energy. Either you or Pogo, either one of you can cast arcane magic. Artemis magic is not the right real. So arcane's basically an arcane spell slot is channeled into it. If you do a level 1 spell slot, it'll take an hour to have it empowered enough that he can pull you back. If you use a higher level spell slot, it'll reduce that.
You cut out. It reduces it by what?
It will reduce that time. It's not. Let's say it's not by a set amount. Mechanically, using a second level spell slot will be 45 minutes. A third level spell will be half an hour. Fourth level spell slot will be 15 minutes instead of an hour.
Okay.
But just keep that. I mean, if you want to memorize it, that's fine too, of course. But otherwise, keep that note. Do not let it get wet. Don't lose it, because you're going to need that.
It's going to go in the scroll case with.
I'm back.
With the 2 other scrolls that I have. Yeah.
Was it augury? That's there. What's the other one? Your description.
The gate spell, and then the
Description. Okay. Yeah. All right. For Justin, Sarah had asked Ozzy the coming back part of it, the scribbled arcane circle that he had, the teleportation circle rather, that he scribbled on paper and given to you guys. How that works is Ozzy was telling Sarah this, that you have to draw that on the ground. You draw it in a big 10-foot circle, the same one that just it kind of points to the one that's on the floor. It'll look just like this, except it'll only have one symbol on it, and that's the important part. So you draw that out, and then you invest it with some arcane energy. and either the two of you, are able to tap into the Condidus drill, the arcane drill that would be used to empower it. If you channel a first circle spell, meaning a level 1 spell slot, into it, it doesn't matter. You don't actually use the spell, but you need to spend a spell slot to charge it, and then he can pull you back from it. If you use this first level, it will take an hour of time to charge the circle. Second level spell will take 45 minutes. Third level will take half an hour. Fourth level will take 60 minutes. Basically, the higher the spell slot that you put into it, the less time you have to spend charging it. But as long as you have an hour first level spell slot.
Cool.
Any other questions? In that case, good luck. Be safe. Be very careful. Don't take unnecessary risks. I know you folk are prone to that, and you kind of have managed to survive anyways. But just come back safe. That we can still use your luck here as well. So go ahead and step on the circle. And he kind of corrals you all up onto the circle. It's only a 10-foot circle, so imagine the four of you, especially as large as Norok is, that isn't that much space. You're kind of pretty well condensed into it. And as he steps back from it and begins the ritual for it, you see the runes around the floor, the circle rather, around the floor of the runic circle, begin to kind of glow this dim blue. And then as you're watching, the light snaps up around you, and then like pretty much any movie when they show time travel, how you're flying through that tunnel of blue, like electricity and shit, you are flying through something around that essentially. And it is extremely disorienting, and it almost...
Everyone put your hands up! Woo!
And then immediately this tunnel of electric blue energy snaps out, or snapshot around you, and you squint your eyes, not yet adjusted to the bright sunlight of your destination here, and there's a rustling of fur behind you, and whoops.
Hey, at least we're not drowning, am I right, guys?
You're halfway through that sentence and you hear,
ah! Is that a fish?
There's a violent roar from something very large and angry that is charging towards you. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh boy.
And the disorientation.
Oh, boo! Wait, nope. Just kidding.
Get a reroll? Yep.
Yeah, get a reroll.
Oh, shit. Oh, this is awful. We rolled a 4 and a 2 with advantage. Alright. With the disorientation of being teleported hundreds of miles in an instant, you're all surprised by this ambush of fur and teeth and claws. Norok, your feral instinct does allow you to still act on this turn, but you have to use your bonus action to rage to do that. So I assume you'll want to do that, right?
Yep.
Alright. Got the counter in the map for you guys here.
Can we see the creature, or do we just hear it at this point?
This is already, like, you can all actually see this happening. It's already happening as one of these creatures is launching itself at Norok. So you basically, because you're all surprised for this round, Norok will be the only one that actually gets to act in this initial turn. So that's how surprised we're going to be. So for... they won't all be going. They were surprised with that. Let me think if this is on you. Yeah, he rolled slightly better than Eugene for this one. You have just enough time to kind of feeling this kind of bestial energy heading your way, that you just kind of, your nostrils flare, you kind of snort and begin to spin yourself around, pulling your axe out to swing at this, as this very large lupine creature comes barreling towards you. And it's basically kind of careening straight in your direction. You have just enough time to spin towards it as it flashes out at you. Which hits. And then tries to lash its face onto the arm and expose with your that one. Tries to bite into your arm but misses. But see the slashing that he kind of threw across your shoulder, like from your shoulder all the way down your bicep, is torn wide open and is bleeding. Immediately starts bleeding profusely. You have
It's a trap.
Well, so you all get the impression, by the way, you surprised them. They were not expecting this, and that's basically so. The rest of them
ruined your dinner. Or wait,
it is your turn.
Maybe we.
Okay. I am going to see if I can hit the one that hit me.
Okay.
Really?
Not with that. where he tried to latch his mouth onto your arm, you had to kind of throw your arm free, and it kind of knocks your swing out of the way, so you end up missing your swing. Go ahead.
Bastard.
There you go.
Boosh!
In addition to critical damage, your target's arm is cut off at the shoulder, deep, and it is stunned as well for the next round. So where it tries to lash out towards your arm, throw your elbow up to dodge it, and then bring the butt of it down and just across the shoulder, severing his left arm, and as it just flops to the ground, there is a beat-feel scream as he pulls the arm away from you, but it doesn't appear to be deterred. It looks rabid, more than just angry.
Okay.
Out of right. It lunges forth from the chair. You see that all of you that it was sitting in a chair, and it just lunges towards the nearest target, which is Arteme, and is going to similarly just as it's running forward on one bug, it kind of itself up and then tries to plug into Arteme with its right forearm. With the natural one, no special effects, but just I'll say that the effect actually is he's getting across the hit, that he has disadvantage with the light attack. Trying to bite at Artemis' ankle, which does hit. Fox, what is your AC is 13. Oh, you never went back to get your armor.
Oh no, I had. It was supposed to be up to 14 with my armor.
Well, you didn't go back. You didn't tell him. Like, you specifically needed to tell him what. Your leather armor is equipped, so it is 13.
Oh yes, I forgot.
Yeah, it would be 14, but you didn't tell him specifically like what you wanted him to make. But the bite does hit. The bite does not appear to have the lacerations far ahead right now. But he bites into your ankle and is trying to kind of pull you down with it. He's strong. He can't really actually very far. But Pogo's turn.
Okay.
I'll tell you, these lacerations that are on you, they'll stay on you, and they'll last for up to a minute. You don't do anything every single round, and you need more of damage, so only 12 damage. It'll just be ticking.
So is Jeremy hard to hear for anyone else, or is it just me?
Yeah, he sounds kind of distant or something.
You might want to move your mic closer. It's just hard to hear. Or the
better?
background. That's much better.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna be like, I want to try something real quick, and I'm going to put the stone into one of Arteme's pockets that I got. That's that magical stone. I'm going to the werewolf that just attacked her. I'm going to go ahead and try to attack him with guiding bolts.
Okay.
All right. So.
And it hits.
All right, so we will do that. And
roll.
How does that grant advantage? That grant advantage to the next person?
The next thing that hits them. So you turn towards. He's kind of laying, half on the ground. He's already starting to stand himself up, not prone, but laying low. And as he's starting to stand himself back up, you blast him like in the puff of the chest, like a dog's fluff right under their where their neck is, square in that with this kind of radiant ball of energy, and it starts to glow. And essentially, any next attack against it will have advantage because that glow kind of
and
gives you a spot to hit.
How do I use my stone?
So I have to do it for you because I couldn't there's no way to do a heal for a set amount like that.
For a set of that, okay. So in that case, the 18, so she gets healed for 9 damage.
Yep.
Did you feel that? That was pretty cool.
Which is exactly how much she had left. So Arteme, as this blast hits him, you see this kind of red energy flowing out from the wound where he was just blasted in the chest up towards your pocket, and you feel that the bite wound on your ankle beginning to kind of seal itself shut. The bleeding stops.
And then I'm just going to say, you can hold on to that for right now, and then I'm going to cast... Actually, then I'm going to... I'm going to use my action. Actually, can I use my bonus action to grab the stone back out of the pocket?
I'd say yeah. I'd say that's
fine.
fine.
I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and then I'm going to run my little pogo butt. 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, that's about as let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna try to hide at least from one of them behind this chair right here.
Okay. So the actual hide is an action.
Or not hide, just.
But yeah, I mean, you can
cover,
use
take a
cover
little bit
any
of cover.
action. Is that if your turn then?
That is it.
Alright, it is Arteme's turn. You just got bit in the ankle and then felt those stitch themselves back together. As you felt Pogo's hand in your pocket twice.
Wink, wink.
Okay, I'm gonna use the braided green lash.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've used it.
Yeah, it's probably pretty hungry by now. Oh shit! 2 natural 20s right from the start on this guy.
What?
Yeah, they're in the fight. And it is also stunned. So until the start of its next turn.
And you have advantage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well that's probably why actually, because she rolled a natural 20 and dropped an 8. So with the advantage is what did it. Hang on, why? Oh, so the slashing of you know what? Never mind. That's supposed to be magic. It probably isn't listed as that. Okay, I'm just going to adjust it manually. It shows that it's resisted because, well, basically these creatures have resistance to non-magical weapons, which you would have an idea of anyways. But the braided green lash is a magic item anyway. So. Mm-hmm. Let me fix that. Go ahead. Any bonus actions?
Shall I lie?
Go ahead and put it up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it and all.
Under your cantrips.
Yeah.
Got it? I don't see it yet. It hasn't been added. There you go. Okay. Alright. Are you going to move? He is right by your feet. You'll have an opportunity attack.
No, I'll just...
Right. And in that case, it is the one that Norak just literally just was immediately slashed by and then just ripped his arm off and left swing. He is stunned. And so now, stunned into upstairs room.
Okay,
there are 3 surrounding you.
Right. So I'm gonna get up on the broom and go up like, I don't know, 15 feet or so.
Okay.
And then use Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
What is Dragon's Breath?
Pretty much like it sounds. Big cone. Whatever. You get to choose one.
Yes, and I'm choosing the acid.
Okay. You only had one targeted, so you're just trying to hit that just that one. Okay. He failed it.
It's a 15-foot cone. So.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna try to get multiple in the cone.
Just right through Norak.
Yeah, I can't without hitting Arthur.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's hit Norak with it before, so it'll be the first time.
Yeah.
He did fail his save though.
Hit him with a what?
Acid Dragon Breath.
Oh yeah, by accident initially when she was trying to attack somebody and one of.
So you hop up on the broom, float up 15 feet in the air, and then just breathe down this cloud of acid over this werewolf that is still is just sitting up out of this chair, like he had been reclined in this chair. And as he's starting to stand up from it, you just bathe him in this cloud of acid as it's starting to burn away the flesh and the fur. Pretty good hit though. Any bonus actions?
No, because it's a bonus action.
Oh, it's to do it. Okay. So the cast is for concentration.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. You all from across the pond there, you hear. In fact, Sarah, you're probably the only one that actually really. Everybody else is kind of focused on the ear. But across the pond, you hear a growling from this little kind of. What would be that? I guess a pond. And Sarah, almost eye level with you. You see a sphere of clouds begin to formulate above the center of the pond there. And this sphere grows and coalesces until it's kind of shooting bolts of lightning around inside of itself.
Oh, crap.
Inside just above the pond here, and it starts pulling up. Like you can see the liquid of the pond here, like the water is being pulled up into this sphere, and then bolts start shooting out from it. It is concentration, so we done there. There we go. Bolts start zapping out from it. You're probably the best target only because you're up in the air anyways. A bolt flashes out toward you. Oh shit! Sorry, I forgot to hang on. I forgot to roll the. It's a. What would that be? A strength? I think that's for the other part. Okay, make a dex save.
You know what? I'm gonna. Oh, never mind.
What?
I was gonna say if it's a dex save, then I can't use cutting words to help her if it's gonna hit. That's not how it works.
Yeah, it's a saving.
Oh no.
Yeah, not with that. That definitely. So I rolled it already that it did hit. You did succeed on keeping your concentration up with the 21. But a bolt zaps out from it, blasts into you on the broom there. You're not able to dodge that, but it does start to kind of you're thrown slightly off the broom. Give me another one to see if you can hold on to it to keep from falling. Okay, you do hold on to the broom and keep yourself from falling off of it, but you were blasted by a lightning bolt zapping out from that sphere. Nork, it is your turn. You're still bleeding. To fix that bleeding, you know you're going to have to try to either bandage it or someone's going to have to heal you. Otherwise, it'll just keep bleeding.
How much damage does bleeding damage do? Just random.
Up to 12. It's a D8 plus 4. Yeah, it's a D8
oh,
plus
okay.
4.
So every turn. Oh, it's written right there in my face. Got it.
You can, if you bandage it, it's basically a medicine check. So if you make a medicine check, a successful one, then you can bandage it yourself, and it'll take your action to do it. Otherwise, if you get one hit point of healing.
Okay.
The werewolf in your face is snarling and growling with one arm, getting ready to swipe at you again.
I had a 3-legged dog once, so I understand.
Just like that. Misses.
Darn it.
He's kind of rocked off to one side, trying to avoid your attack.
Can't roll what shit say.
That hits though.
Okay.
Decent hit.
Alright.
Just as he's getting ready to swipe at you, you carve it into his shoulder, essentially. Not enough to carve through the arm at all, but definitely hurting it. All right, the one that has been covered in acid is going to, seeing Sarah up 15 feet in the air, you see him kind of push down onto his haunches, getting ready to leap up in the air at you, and does just that. He leaps up through the air just with a wide swipe of his claws, trying to claw you down at 15 feet. I think I'm going to give him disadvantage because you're where you're at, especially being hit by lightning. You are slightly harder to hit, maybe. But he still hit.
Too soon.
Which you are now bleeding as well. You did succeed on your concentration, though. But he carves a wide gash down your leg, hanging from the broom. Not enough to throw you off or anything, but as soon as he's landed, he is going to finish his movement towards Norok. I'm going to move him off to the side, but he would be essentially under you on the broom and try to bite Norok. Why do you have advantage? Oh, because you reckless. That's why. Yeah. It does hit though. So you feel latching into your hip, your right hip, as just a bite from another of these creatures that is trying to pull you down. Right. It is the one that is at Arteme is going to try to slash his claws. He's fully standing again, which misses, and tries to bite her as well. That does hit. Arteme is not bleed. The bite doesn't seem to cause them. Just to pause. Alright, Pogo's turn.
Ah! What do we get ourselves into, guys? This is not a solid start.
You all saw them that they were basically sitting in these, like they were having a meeting of some kind, and you surprised them, and then they kind of watched out at you.
So let's see. I'm going to. Oh boy. I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to go against this one that was attacking Norok before. And I'm going to pull myself up from behind this chair, and I'm gonna scream at him. Your mother was so hairy that you almost died of rug burn at childbirth. And I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on him.
Okay.
Or it, whatever it is. Did it hit?
No. Oh, sorry. Hang on, sorry. He rolled a 3. I saw the 3.
Oh, okay.
I was like, no, that's definite. So, but yeah, he had to beat a 16, so he failed.
So, push and push. So he'll have disadvantage. So maybe Norok will live.
There you go. Any bonus actions?
Now that I see someone. Yeah, I'm thinking. How tall are these rocks? Are they pretty high up? The southern ones from me. These ones right here.
Yeah, that's much taller than you. That kind of blocks your view from there. Just that to get up to that would be probably 10 feet, and then.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
This one here will be 10.
Let me look up real quick these details. 60 feet, right? So. Fuck off with your not being able to see. 65 feet. Shite. Alright, so I am going to... actually going to move down with my motion. And I am going to cast Spiritual Banjo as my bonus action.
Yep. There it is. Where are you putting it?
Ooh, 20.
Did another natural 20, damn.
And I'm going to cast it right by this werewolf that was casting the magic from across the pond, as we say. And is that 20? Is that for the first attack, or is that just to cast it? I think that's for the.
Hang on.
For the attack?
Let me look at your spiritual banjo here.
I just didn't have anyone targeted.
The cast button is to see if it hits them or not.
Oh.
So you just target him and then click the cast button. Oh, you already did. Yeah, you did.
That was what I did.
Yeah. Oh, the natural 20.
I just did it out of order. So I should have said I cast the banjo. Oh, but until I hit the button, it hadn't moved yet.
Well, you had yourself targeted, so you actually right now, if you clicked it, you would be damaging yourself with a crit. But Go ahead and roll the untarget yourself, and then roll the damage, and I'll double it and put it on it. Like the damage button.
Untarget me! Oh, there it goes.
There you go. You had it. Yeah.
All right.
Click the damage zone. I'll double it and put it on him. And then we'll check his concentration to see if he can keep the spear up. Double of 2 is not a whole lot.
That is quite correct.
Doubling the whole thing. You open 2, so 4. That'll be a total of 9. Right. There we go.
And that will end my turn.
He failed. Failed the concentration check.
Oh shit!
So basically, his damage that he needed to beat was a 9. He rolled a 9, but it's a minimum of 10 or the damage. So, wait, hang on, I have that backwards. But he still, no, he beats it by 1. Yeah, he rolled exactly what he needed to save. I was thinking it was the other way around. I was thinking it was minimum 10. It's not. It's minimum of 10 or the damage, whichever is lower. Right?
I thought it was higher.
I think it has to be. Yeah, I think it is. I think you have to be a 10 because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. If you roll a 1, then you would only get basically automatically succeed. It's got to be yeah. All right, so it does drop. Never mind. You're drop.
Woohoo! Take that, you wolf!
Your banjo whack on this guy throw his ritual stand motion off out of a range, out of the ritual alignment that it was supposed to be, and you see the sphere of storms that was in the middle above the pond beginning to fade and dissipate. Artemis' turn.
I'm gonna attack the same one again with my whip.
Okay.
Whoopah!
That misses.
Oh, okay.
Any bonus actions?
No.
Not going to move or anything either?
No.
You have cool stuff you can do. You've got a lot of cool stuff, but like I don't know. I always feel like Artemis doesn't feel like she gets much out of combat. But
No, I know. Well, I could like dash or disengage, I guess. But wouldn't that have been my action, not my attack?
yeah, I mean, if you were to try to move, you would provoke an opportunity. But you do have other spells which prepared something as a bonus action. Like you have Healing Word and Healing Spear; those are both bonus actions. Lele was a bonus action. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do, you know, that isn't just trying to, you know, hit it with a whip or hit it with a stick. But up to you.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could use Healing Spirit, put it near me and Sarah.
Okay. Sarah's up in the air, so it can float. It can go up to Sarah, but she's 15 feet up. So are you going to try to keep it near you or near her? Or, I mean, you could put it kind of between, but you can't really fly to get up to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll put it between like all of us, and she can come down for heal.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and mark up your spell slot and put your concentration up for it.
I already put the concentration.
It's not on you right now.
What? Oh, that's good.
But the werewolf that is
No.
missing an arm, yep, there you go, is going to try to lash out at Norok with another remaining claw.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Cutting Words on that werewolf.
Okay. It would hit, so go ahead.
That's not what I want.
You got a 19. So,
There we go.
Norok
So,
so you need to roll a 5 up or higher. I think it's a D8, right?
Oh, do I just roll a d8?
Yep. It's a 4 or higher that you need. Norok's AC is a 15.
Oh!
Nope, not with that.
Mark off my
Right.
bardic inspiration.
Right.
Sorry, bro!
And another bleeding wound. Go on Norok. And then it's going to, of course, try to bite Norok again. And with the bite, he's trying to push Norok back, or because that would fall underneath Sarah if he successful at it. But he's trying to kind of bite onto your arm and then push you backwards. Give me a contested strength check, G. So just roll a strength check. You got a 14. He's a little smaller than you. He's medium. You're technically. But I think, don't you have the thing for pushing? Like, don't you have a thing where you get advantage? It's like a natural build. That's what it is. Powerful. It is kind of one size larger when determining carrying capacity or the way you drag over. So, for not pushing, I guess it's simply. That wouldn't matter. Okay. I was thinking you would, but. That's 20 total anyway, so you still, he's trying to push you backward, you kind of shove him off of you, it's just, his blood is just, from the severed arm, is just spraying all over you, of course, but you shove him off of you, and then he lets go with his bite. Is Sarah start? Sarah, you are bleeding still. Natural 20 your concentration, so you're still keeping concentration on your dragon breath.
Okay, so the healing spirit, it's like, can I fly through it and get some healing as I go by?
The first time you touch it during your turn.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Drop down to 15 feet and do that.
So,
Pardon me, would you roll? It's a D6, and that'll stop them as well.
90. Okay. So 15.
so is she now within the range of the werewolf?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Well, two of them. No, one of them, sorry. Yes.
40.
He's going to get an opportunity attack.
From werewolf number 1. You flew down to touch the spirit, and it is going to try to claw at you as you're flying away.
Maybe just stay next to the healing spirit. He'll just claw at you, and there's like. Bring.
No, because I need to get close to this guy.
Alright.
As you are
Yeah.
trying, oh yeah, he definitely hits. Got an 18. As you are trying to, just fly down through this spirit, you feel it, its energies stitching together the wound as another one just raked across your other leg of it slashing you, which of course now you're bleeding from that one, and your dragon's breath just expired.
That's fine. I wasn't going to use that anyways. All right.
There you go. Oh shit, you are. Look at your hit points. Yeah.
I know. I see it.
Okay.
So I am going.
The good news is Pogo's on, or good news is Norok's almost dead, so I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah, Norks, you guys are taking a beating for sure.
All right. So I'm gonna have Shan pop up right behind this werewolf down here.
Okay.
Banjo. Like right behind him. So she's right on him.
Fine, you're for you.
All right, we're gonna Michael Vick this game right now.
Alright, and it was as long as she's within 5 feet, he gets disadvantage, right?
Oh,
Against your spells,
Yeah.
make her green.
and if he's prone, my banjo
This
could
is
give him
dog
a
on
nice
dog
swing.
prime too.
My money's on the big ghosty one.
He gets a disadvantage, and then I'm going to use another sorcery point, and I'm going to use the distance spell to make
Okay.
it 60 feet, and I'm going to cast light.
Okay. On the werewolf on the far side.
Yep, right here.
He failed to save. He got a 9. He's been here around here. There
Yes.
you go. Well, you got 3 1s in there, but a 7, 7s and an 8, so I suppose that all balances. Pretty good roll. You send out a cloud of necrotic energy. This this kind of a beam of rotted leaves that settle over his fur, and immediately he starts howling and screaming. The damage looks severe. He does not look very healthy.
Awesome. That's it, and I'm going to roll it.
He is the smallest of the group, by the way. Okay.
Thing.
For her initiative?
Yeah.
Okay. She got a 15 when I initially put it in anyway, so that just puts her right before one of the other werewolves, so that worked out.
Alright, and that's it for my turn. That's
All
all I
right.
can do.
Then it is now his turn. Is Ben talk? He's not talking to us, right? I hear him talking.
I don't know if he even has his headphones on. He just took Rufus outside.
I think you hear yourself. You've got a slight echo,
Is that what's happening?
and you also might need a new mic or something.
Did he keep cutting out of it?
It's kind of, I mean, it's not terrible. Like, we can make it all out. It's just if you start going into detail about stuff, then we might miss every fourth or fifth word.
I'll see if I can figure out what it is that's causing it. And it's probably one of the virtual audio cables. I had to fix the sound settings after Windows update, and
Sure.
I fixed it all. And it sounds normal, at least for the couple of short tests I did, but it wasn't long term, and it wasn't going all at once. Okay. The caster wolf on the far side there is going to looking for that. He is going to looking across at Sarah, floating up on the room there. He is going to hold his hands out in direction, and a bolt of electrical energy flashes out for him. Make a dex save. Second. Not with that. It was a 15 you had to beat. That is an 8d6.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
The bolt of energy courses through you, just zapping you square off the room, throwing you, landing on the ground. The fall, like you're not going to like this, but the fall is technically after you go unconscious, which makes it a failed death save.
Wait, but I didn't actually go up.
Oh, you
Because
stayed.
in order to get all my movement that I needed, I had to stay down.
Okay, alright, that's fair. Alright, then in that case you don't actually go backwards. Like you right there with no death save, but on the ground for sure. It is Norm's turn, with
I think
bleeding. Oh,
it'll work, but can I use the Shadow of the Grave?
you can give it a shot, yeah. I mean, the amount of damage you did is not gonna matter, but you can give it a shot here. If you get a natural 20 at least, it's a 27.
Whoops, I sent it to the Google, so I don't know what just happened.
Oh, word. Oh, it doesn't have it. Okay, I was looking for where it is, but roll a 20, and you need a natural 20. Because you got a 27, so out on that. Alright, Norok, the healing spirit behind you, the two bleeds that you just took up taking off, because you're starting your turn next to the healing spirit, and I'm saying the healing will come before the damage would. So, an extra 13 damage off. And then you're no longer bleeding because the spirit is right behind you.
Okay.
Your turn. So, let's see, as far as an assessment, the one in front of you,
Don't worry, guys. I can heal up. Serafina. Let's just read that out.
the one directly in front of you, V, is pretty bad. Like, if you get a decent hit off, they'll die. One behind you is a bit too, he's not quite bloodied yet, and your left that Artemis been working just now.
Where's Sai?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't put her in here lately because you don't usually do a thing with her as far as combat.
Okay, yeah.
So if you're going to, just let me know and I'll put her in here every time too.
Okay. She normally distracts every once in a while, but that's about it. Sometimes, like, I could probably use her this time to go heal at a distance.
Right, I put her right beside you there.
Okay, thank you.
And go ahead and give me an initiative roll for her if you.
I already did at the beginning, but sure.
Oh, I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Hang on, let me scroll back. I took those off, but I don't see. You haven't attacked yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. I was scrolled up too high. That does hit. Go ahead. All right. I see. Yeah, you rolled a 19 shit. So you got a 20. Well, that was enough to finish that one off. The one in front of you, you'd already cleaved the arm off. You bring your axe in a wide sideways arc and just take its head square off the shoulders. You actually rolled a 1 on damage, but because of your modifiers being so high for a Great Weapon Master, isn't it? Oh.
Nice. Okay. So
Toast.
get this dude.
With a bit at you on the hip.
Yeah.
That missed.
Alright. Try one more time. Okay.
All right, that one you're trying to, after cleaving this one's head off and spinning around, trying to just in this wide arc towards this one, he just jumps backward, just steps away from you while you make the second swing, and then immediately lunges forward with both claws, trying to break them at you. Why did he have? Oh, because you attacked that hit.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my tribal here. So
Okay. He did 14. So go ahead and come back. It heals a little bit. You are bleeding again from that wound. And then he bite you as well. That hits. Go ahead.
Boom!
Yeah. Alright. Kind of knock down, drag out, back and forth guy. And the bite also hit. For another 16 damage. You take half, of course. That is it for his turn. Come back around to Sai.
Meow. That's not the right sound.
Is she a cat now?
That's not even close. I don't know who meowed. Who was that? That would be weird.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had a spell that I had to touch to heal people, but it's not one of my prepared ones. So
Healing, it's cure wounds. You just don't have it prepared.
oh yeah, okay. Because I was gonna use cure wounds through Psy, but I'll have it.
Get ready for that too, Justin.
What?
I said get ready for that too. Casting.
Oh, for yours?
Yeah, through it.
Through
Through
random.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll distract that one.
Okay. Then, in that case, it is that one's turn now. Werewolf 3. He is going to hop, trying to get away from the distraction of Sai. It's still technically counts. He's going to hop over here, trying to get a better angle at you. Break his claws at you. Why did he have advantage?
I don't know.
Oh. The distraction, yeah, it's okay. So you put the distraction on him. It's actually supposed to go on the person that she's helping. It's overcomplicated the way that works. I'm trying to make a kind of a better version of it inside of Fantasy Grounds, but don't worry about it for now. So as far as his, he got up to 10. It's actually the same. 10 plus 16, so he got a 16, which would still hit. So.
Okay, wait. So I've been putting it wrong this whole time.
No, remember I changed it 2 weeks ago. You said use it. And I changed it to make it work presumably better, but it's still a little over. The idea is that the next person who tries to attack the one that you put it on, they would have advantage on the attack. So you would actually give that effect. You put that on the person making the attack before they make the roll. Is all.
Oh, okay.
Instead of dropping it on them, but it's called grant advantage attack. It's a different effect, and I'll just change it back to that one. I think that probably still works a little bit better. Neither one of them are quite ideal, but I think it'll still work best with that.
Okay, well, I'll try putting it. So, wait, you're gonna change it back to the way it was before, or?
Yeah. For this fight, we'll just leave it like it is, but I'll change it to the way where you just drop it on the problem with just putting it on the enemy is that it expires on their turn rather than on Sai's turn, and there isn't any way to fix that.
Okay, no, I'll just get you try dropping it on us instead and see how that works first.
So how you would do that then is basically you'll just need to remember, well, in this case it's Werewolf 3, and then the next time somebody tries to hit Werewolf 3, drop that effect on them before they make their attack roll. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. This one hops around you though, and then rakes you with claws. Successfully hits. You manage to keep your concentration for Shillelagh, but you are bleeding.
Oh, okay.
As long as you're still within range, it doesn't matter. And then he's going to bite you though, which also hits. For another 8 damage. But that actually killed the failed. Sorry, I thought I was thinking Shillelagh. It was Healing Spirit and it expired.
Oh.
Okay. So the Healing Spirit is down, and you are bleeding. That's it for his turn. Pogo's turn.
Pogo's looking around, getting quite nervous at all these beasties. He's gonna first use his bonus attack to have his spiritual banjo attack this werewolf.
Okay. You do see that he is in very bad shape.
So let's see. Cast that to hit. Not gonna do it.
Nope, that was a 10.
So he's then going to run around the corner, 25, get right up next to Serafina. He's gonna take that same rock and just place it right on her. How's she laying? Is she like on her back? Like,
she's like electrocuted. She looks like a seizure patient right now.
all right, I'm just gonna shove it in a pocket real quick. She's just shaking violently. Shove it in a pocket real quick, and then that magical stone. And then I am going to turn around and on this werewolf up here, I'm going to do my level 1 guiding bolt to see if it hits.
Okay.
Damn it! Wait. No. Well, yeah, that doesn't hit.
Nope.
Alright. Crap. Alright, well, I'll save that for my next turn, I suppose. Mark off that slot.
Looks like
and...
it's that fucking goddamn. What was that girl on Saturday Night Live that danced that jig off stage? Remember? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Never mind that.
Yeah,
It was like it was a super awkward moment where this girl, I forget who it was, but it was this girl that was like this pop singer, like this really shitty pop singer, and she was on Saturday Night Live and trying to lip sync her song. She wasn't actually singing, but they messed up the track, so it wasn't playing. So she like dances this stupid like yeehaw jig off stage, and it was super awkward. Like she didn't know what to do, and that's exactly how Pogo sounded right there.
Yeah, us. All right, well, try again next week, fellas.
Hope she doesn't die. All right,
I still have enough time to cast an actual normal, so I'll have to do that next time. It would just been really neat to do it with those guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Were you putting Sarah? Okay. Okay. Sarah, you are conscious again, with Pogo standing over you, holding a rock on you. But you kind of eyes open, still a little bit jittery from the electrical bolt. Your broom is floating in the air above you. Not like up high, just like you just fell off the broom basically, so it's right next to you, within reach. Artemis' turn, or rest of Artemis' turn. That was your bonus action.
I just noticed I had a. Oh no, I had a spell that I was gonna take off. But,
Oh yeah, you could change your prepared spells, knowing that you were coming here.
yeah, I forgot to.
If you know what you're going to do for this turn, go ahead and do that. Just spell that you would have prepared, and then you can go for the rest of your turn again.
I'm gonna do good berry, and then eat one and toss one to Nora.
Okay. He's right next to you, so it won't take you an action or anything to give him one.
Yeah. Okay.
thank you.
It's a bonus action to eat it, though. I would say that as you're casting, you can one for Arteme, and then for Norok, it'll be your bonus action to eat it.
Right.
The same as it would be for taking a bonus. Okay, so in so doing, that stops the bleeding from Arteme. It heals 1 hit point. It's enough to stop the bleeding. So Norok, if you eat that, it'll stop your bleed as well.
Oh, I already put one on him. As I was doing it, dragging.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. We'll say that assuming that he's going to. Are you going to use that for your bonus action when your turn comes, G?
Yeah, I was going to do that anyway, so we'll just.
Okay. All right, then I'll go ahead and I'll just pull the bleed effect off so that I don't have to manually do it. Hit. That was your action for Goodberry. Bonus action to cast Healing Word. Any movement? Fox. All right, then it is Shane's turn. Oh shit! When you went unconscious.
It just says when she hits 0 hit points or her target hits 0. It doesn't say anything about if I hit 0.
Yeah, it doesn't matter then. You don't have to stay conscious. It'll be up.
Okay.
All right, then she's going to attack that's all she can do, right? Is just try to attack that werewolf.
Yep.
All right. You know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you do it because I rolled it. So if I put it on there for you, go ahead. It still would have missed. So much for that.
This guy's getting fucking lucky.
Yeah, he's been like near death.
Hey, what just happened?
She was still bleeding.
Oh.
Which hang on. The bleed would have stopped when Healing Word went off. So I should take it off. So it's not actually a plus. That was my mistake. Go ahead, thank you. That
I was like, all right, we'll try this again.
Do I still have inspiration?
Yeah, you all have inspiration still. You know what? It should have been cleared because you guys have rested, but this is your first like kind of chance to use it basically, so I didn't clear it.
Okay. Then I'm going to use 2 of my sorcery points. And I'm also going to target this guy. I'm going to hit them both with Chaos Bolt.
Okay. Oh shit. One of them's a crit. In addition to standard critical damage to your target, you may take an extra standard action this turn against that target. It does, because, well, actually, hang on. The second one was 20, which is against the one that doesn't have a number.
Okay. So, I
You
get
get
the
2 actions
damage
against
first.
those. Yeah, go ahead and roll the damage. That'll probably come anyways. But yeah. Toast.
Alright, 2. That's pretty low. They're cold damage then.
Alright.
Is there a baby?
When they're the same number, does it bounce to another target or something?
I thought it had to be.
What is that?
Squeaky toy.
Oh, okay. It does sound like a baby crying.
Same number on both dice. It is, so it leaps to a different target, though, is what it says.
Rufus, get down.
Which
So-
would be the only one remaining, which is the other guy over there. One.
Okay, so it hits him again then?
Well, you blasted 3 in one, didn't you?
3 and that guy. Oh, there is another guy. So
Yeah, there's another one there. So it's gonna kind of jump around Norok and also hit Werewolf 1 on the other side of it. Which hits. I'm gonna roll the damage rank too. This might be this is
Oh shit.
most efficiency you've ever gotten out of Chaos Bolt. So, and it's
again.
can it continue to do it? I would say that it can. I would say that if you going, what is the damage type before?
4 is force damage.
Okay. So it pushes him backward, knocking him off of Norok, and then bounces back at 3 again. Roll it again. It does hit him too. Alright, so no extra bounce, but it does bounce back again, and the 5 or 4. So force or
Lightning, let's do force damage again.
then you pushes him off of Arteme, knocking him backwards. So do you sending out one Chaos Bolt across towards he was a druid, but towards the werewolf across the pond, and then one back at the werewolves back here as it bounced back and forth between them. What's the word I'm looking for? Not tennis, but ping pong style, bouncing back and forth. Then if your turn.
I'm going to use the Ring of Healing Surges, and I'll use 2 for
Then make it a bonus action. Okay.
So I get to use one of those.
There you go.
Alright, and
That's it for your turn.
I have movement, so I'm just going to...
The broom is next to you. You can grab it.
Yeah, I'm just going to grab the broom and stay where I am.
Not above the ground, but just floating slightly, just a little bit.
Yeah, like 5 feet.
Okay. You saw bolts of sparkling energy bounce back and forth between the werewolves surrounding you, knocking them both away from you.
Oh, and Shannon's gone.
Oh yeah, because I got it. Both of the actually that one is very badly wounded, and the other one of them has 3 hit points, one of them has 2 hit points left.
Ah, so close.
Like I said, we need to do the ground cover match to work out either way.
That hits. Because it made you really mad.
Yeah.
Go reckless to do 2 hit points of damage. You can't roll less than that. It's like your modifier, as long as you roll a 1, which is obviously the minimum, that plus your modifier would mean that it would automatically kill him, so. Extremely dead.
Alright. And can I hit the other one, or do attacks have to be on the same target?
No, he's behind you.
trouble.
You can make your extra attack. Yeah, you can make him.
Yeah.
He's standing behind you, still growling, getting ready to leap at Artemis. Was that 27? Okay. Right. Hits. That was enough to finish him off as well. The group, you have 4 corpses of werewolves around you now. Well, 1 across the pond, anyways. But the group of you kind of taking measure of this place. So
I am going to go take a look. I've never seen a sorcerer werewolf before, so I am going to go investigate that werewolf that was on the other side. See if he's got any interesting items on him. From maybe he's a lycanthrope. Maybe he's got human belongings that I can rummage through. Little baubles and knickknacks.
Do me a favor. You're walking down that path to get to the other side?
Yep, I'm going to walk down the path and, yeah, around the corner. Just
give me a
stealthily.
Okay. Give me in that case, give me a perception check with advantage.
All right.
As you're walking along your this path around the corner there, right about here, your foot sinks into the ground slightly, and you hear a very loud pop, like an explosive pop underneath that. And you are immediately just surrounded by heat. Give me a dex save.
Shit.
You guys haven't had a chance to really look around this place, but it is overgrown. Hey, all right. This explosion erupts around you that immediately inflames. Basically, like gas you stepped on a spore, like a mushroom spore. And this up in the air that immediately just ignites just a ball of fire surrounding you. You managed to, as soon as you felt it was like stepping on a landmine. As soon as you felt it, you throw your cloak. You have your actual cloak, of course, but you made it mimicked it into this camouflage. So you throw it up over your face to avoid some of it. It is 8d8 you're going to take half damage on.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a fireball. A mushroom version of that. You were not hurt that entire fight?
No, I'm very good at not being hurt.
The only time you got hurt was stepping on an explosive mushroom.
So I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna say, hey, everybody, before you walk around, pay careful attention to the feet area, because that explosion you just saw came from underground, like a gas pocket or something, and don't recommend it.
As you're singed, like the soot in your hair.
Singed, yeah, like I don't have an eyebrow, like it's just like half gone. A little smoke coming from the tips of my hair.
There's a kind of a VA for the area. That's what this looks like. It is just overgrowth everywhere with all forms of very strange flora, like plants and almost sickly, like a overgrown jungle that's almost sickly. And it is the air is just thick with this kind of, basically as soon as this haze is kind of faded, you can all kind of take measure of your surroundings, and you see the air is just thick with this incessant buzz of insects all around you, and there are just clouds of these little tiny gnats and like mosquitoes and various other annoyances that are flitting about. But occasionally you spot what are called risen. Artemis knows these as RHIZAN, but they're little flying squirrel-like lizards that kind of barrel their way through these insect clouds and swallow as many as they can. But the air is just thick with these clouds of insects, and it's also very cloying and humid. You almost have to choke down these breaths. But this palace temple itself is all but destroyed. There's these gargantuan stone statues of elven design, but they're all chunks of rubble all around you. There's really almost nothing that's not destroyed. It looks like a tsunami or something wiped this place out.
So, seeing the healing spirit, I'm going to go ahead and carefully walk back, staying on what seems to be the most sturdy path, so that I can get healed up. And then I'm going to go back down slowly and carefully to check out this werewolf that was hitting us with the magic.
Okay.
You want to ride the broom?
Is that an option? Hell yeah! Let's go check out. Let's fly across the pond, as we say. My native
As we say a
land.
second time.
I'm just gonna call out to Sarah as they go to make sure to grab all of the arcane stuff before Bug. Because I want to check them out before he tries to sell them and make a beast.
I heard that, and it's very fair.
All right, then Sarah, you fly over and pick up Pogo, throw him on the back of the broom, fly your way over towards the corpse of the werewolf druid that was on the far side. Banjo's still floating above. He's covered in.
I'm gonna put my banjo in defense mode. Can just kind of quickly whip around different areas around me. He's my little banjo bodyguard. I think it'll last for a minute. I'm pretty sure.
It is the werewolf that was over there was the smallest of the group by far, and is holding what looks like a cudgel. You know what a cudgel is? Like a short stick, like a wand or a club.
Like a cudgel? Is it pronounced cudgel?
I think it's pronounced cudgel. It might be either way. I don't know.
I feel like it's cudgel.
It probably should be. It might be something that I read when I was a kid and didn't know how to pronounce it.
Well, maybe since it was in the hands of a dog, we can call it a cudgel.
Like Cujo? Is that what you're going with? Was that the pun you were trying for?
Exactly.
So, anyways, you that's it though. Other than that, he's just furry. He doesn't have clothes or anything. That's all.
He's not wearing like a watch.
No.
What is it? Does it have like a big teeth or anything like that?
Yeah, it's very much a large werewolf.
I'm gonna fucking pry a couple of these giant werewolf teeth out. People are no longer believing our stories, and I need to start carrying around some proof.
I mean, it looks like a wolf tooth. It'll look like you just a dog.
That would look pretty
sweet. To make you sound.
Like when you see like some of the with the head of a wolf on top of their hat. Does anyone here know how to make a head of a wolf turn into a hat?
That is the most drunken way of trying to say something so silly.
Is that something that anyone could do?
Probably Arteme. Can I run an Arcana check on the thing that he told me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's cudgel.
No. Never mind.
There's some kind of you don't recognize the source of the power. It's not a rill you're familiar with, but there is some magical power inside of this cudgel. Yes. Okay.
I almost want to cast plant growth to make the plants healthy again.
This is, by the way, you all know, because everybody knows about the Vastera edition, you know that this is what happened when the Vine Lash destroyed this place, that it kind of perverted nature in a way that it kind of forced it to grow too rapidly and in an almost parasitic way. There's a lot of strange mushrooms here that you don't recognize. There's a lot of trees that look sickly and slippery, like they're pouring out sap that shouldn't be. The things that basically bastardized versions of the plant life that you should see here. And obviously you've been here before, Arteme, so well, not this particular place, but the island itself. This is not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay, but I can make all normal plants in a 100-foot radius. Yeah, okay, that wouldn't really make them healthy, I guess.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab my my magical stone out of her pocket. Be like, that thing was pretty cool, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in my pocket.
Okay. Give me a medicine check for trying to extract teeth. You know what? I'd say you could do it as a sleight of hand.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. You're able to pull out the entire row of the upper jaw of the teeth, including the canines.
I'm going to make earrings and a matching bracelet.
You're going to be the Bushmaster guy that wears like a necklace.
Maybe I'll turn them into weird little dice you can play a game later.
But you're able to extract your wolf teeth.
But I'm just going to put those in my pocket.
Okay. What is Nork doing? Artemis healing spirit patched up your wounds. You're no longer bleeding. There are the corpses of 3 werewolves surrounding you.
Can I go just kind of look around quickly and make sure,
You cut out at the end there. Make sure what?
just make sure nothing else is moving, kind of look around and make sure.
There's movement all around you. Everything is moving around you, just none of it is very large. You're basically seeing, like, I would say that it's probably even a little bit distracting because there's constant movement of small animals and insects and things like that. The plants themselves kind of sway a little bit because there's this kind of sea breeze that's blowing through here.
Is there anything interesting in the water? Any large living creatures in there or anything like that?
No, it doesn't appear to be anything. I mean, there's small fish and things like that in there, but nothing. Nothing that.
Anyone want to go skinny dipping? No. All right, that's fair. I'm gonna go ahead and try to wash some of the. Actually, no. You know, I was never near one of the wolves. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll get
fire.
my fingers clean from prying out those teeth. I'll just put it in the water.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make sure that everywhere I walk, I'm very careful.
The water is very cool and refreshing and nice, and that's a lot because the place you're standing in is like sickly sweaty. You're like instantly covered in a sheet of sweat because of how humid it is here. But the water feels nice and cool. But beyond that, it doesn't appear to be anything special.
I'm going to take some. See if I have any. I'm gonna grab. I have some. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to take off my shirt underneath my armor, and I'm going to get it wet, and then I'm gonna wrap that around my head underneath my mage's my cap, so I'm not quite as uncomfortable.
Okay.
Are there any palm fronds?
Yeah, there's large.
I'm gonna carefully cut one off and have mage hand just give me a nice breeze. Yeah, just have mage hand as my cantrip.
Okay, that is concentration. So as long as you have that up, that's until you set off another fire explosion and gone.
Hopefully, I'm more careful now. I feel like that's quite the learning experience.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna help other people just randomly, just wave them, fan them, try to keep them cool.
You didn't see your foot stepped on it before you could see the kind of mushroom that just exploded over you. Your foot kind of fell into a sinkhole when you smashed it. So I would say that you probably have a general idea of the ground around it, but the blast kind of destroyed most of it.
So I imagine it's going to be like when you're walking through mud and you kind of have to check to see if it's solid enough.
Yeah,
to put weight on.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can kind of poke at the ground as you're walking, anything of that sort. But I mean, this whole area is. I have other kind of like this.
So
very dense vegetation everywhere, and appears to be largely hostile. The vegetation itself is almost hostile from that.
So I don't know what I can do, guys. Is I can use my mage hand to maybe shove rocks if we're walking on the path. Maybe I'll just keep throwing rocks and things just to. Or if you see anything weird, maybe we can use mage hand to go and poke at it before we walk into some sort of weird trap. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep mage hand about 15 to 20 feet out ahead of us, and if we see anything weird, I'll use it to poke at it or throw a rock at something.
Okay. Well, where are you guys going?
Aren't we supposed to head, what was it, west?
Artemis?
Sure.
That has shared you the region map pack.
Oh, so bad.
It would have been.
Pretty sure we need to head northeast.
Well, you can re-roll your 1 if you want to re-roll your 1, but roll it as a memory check, though.
Oh, memory check. Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, better.
A little better. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was only 15 minutes before when you were talking to Ozzy, so that circle right there, that is true. You can see that?
No.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. And
yeah,
we have to...
That is Ilmeneus, and Arteme, you just naturally know, that the capital of Gwynsair. This island, okay, so this island is Gwynsair, this whole thing, this is where the Elven Nation was. And yeah, that blue circle, that's it right there.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta go
We'd have to go south.
Now, Ozzy told you that it'll probably be maybe 1 to 2 days march to get there, but that was not knowing that this is so densely overgrown and it's over kind of mountainous terrain and everything. Basically, when it was just nice trees and forests, you'd be able to make it fine. Now that it's all sickly and gross and having to move slow, Arteme will know, of course, that it'll likely take you a little bit longer.
Okay.
Hey,
Too bad I
Arteme.
don't have a spell to just like gently like make most of the plants just like go down instead of like plant growth, like just like making
Like plant retard.
Plant retard.
But no, that's the correct use of that term.
It's still correct.
You have
when
to
you use it.
retard the plants.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to put a token on here for you guys because I just I put a grid hex on there. You can see that. Might be kind of dim. It's probably hard to see. This is for you guys' travel here. Find you guys a suitable token. Who's going to lead the way?
Not me. I'm blind as shite.
All right, then if Arteme is going to, I guess we'll just use Artemis token for now at least. You guys are here, and each hex that you guys move through is going to be this may vary a little bit, but it'll probably be about half a day's travel. So where are you trying to go? As long as you're not splitting up, what direction are you heading?
I think we should try to go
probably
south.
here around the mountains, so not through the mountains because that's where there'd be more wild animals.
I mean,
and
I don't-
there's too much dense forest. So going through the forest would probably be the best bet. We could probably hold camp here.
That is an old elven. You know that. Well, I mean, you would know that is a place called Termo, and it's not there anymore. I mean, you're not there, so I'm.
Well, the ruins would still be there.
Yeah, the ruins are still there. Yeah, it's just been destroyed. There are no people there, but you won't know that yet anyway until you actually get that far. But as far as you can get for now would be here if that's where you're going. Is that the direction you're going to go? You guys
I'm going to
talk amongst yourselves and decide what your plan is. So.
I mean, yeah, sounds like if Arteme knows where to go, and let's go ahead and see if we can get to the Parm. That sounds fine.
That tower-looking thing.
Well, I'm just gonna. I'm so bad at perception. I'm not gonna see it. Just, if it's overgrown, I'm just gonna follow Arteme. Like, hey, let's go. Start our march. But remember, we gotta be real careful. We'll keep Mage Hand out in front, and Arteme, just let me know if you need me to go push on something or pull on something. And then if you need Mage Hand to do anything as well, just let me know, and I'll have Mage Hand do that also.
I'll just ask Sai to sniff out the.
Oh, that's even better.
I'm staying on the broom.
In that case, Sai is, I'm going to keep Mage Hand just cooling Arteme off with a nice pump run. And I'm going to play.
I would stay on the broom.
I'm going to go ahead and play some songs on my banjo there a little bit as we're walking softly.
It's very slow going. You end up having to kind of cut your way through these paths because the roads have been completely overgrown. To the point where vines and everything in your way, you end up having to chop your way through. Probably mostly Norok for that kind of bushwhacking. But it's very slow going. You do manage to make your way, at least a head start to the southeast.
We could just throw a couple fireballs through here, see what happens. Just kidding, Arteme. I wouldn't do that to the flowers.
I would so glare at him for the fireball comment.
It was a joke. And then I'm gonna turn to Seraphine and be like, not really, but it's just I like to get on her nerves every once in a while. Keeps her ready to go on her toes.
Well, I do have fireball.
The issue with fireball, though, is because it's a diseased and unnatural plant. It could react and try to kill.
Did not think of
I
that.
mentioned this already, that the plants on multiple, not all those different species that you see, but more than one of them do seem to have some amount of awareness of you.
So you're telling me these are sentient plants?
At least if you're there, the same way that like flowers will open up in the morning and then face the sun and then rotate throughout the day they'll turn. The flower will face the sun as it's going across the sky. Same kind of thing.
I'm going to.
Plants are like up and looking at. If it had eyes, it would be essentially looking at you, following you.
I'm gonna softly play on my banjo. I'm just gonna make a little ditty and be like, "I love being a carnivore. I've never eaten plants before. They're so great, and I love them so much. Never a plant I'd hurt or touch." I'm just gonna play a little song as we walk through these plants, hoping they don't fucking bite me.
That was pretty good for a little improv song.
Oh,
It
thank you.
actually made most sense anyway. Give me a survival check on Arteme for that first hex.
You know, it's funny when Leah hears me do things like that, and she just comes in. She's like, just stares at me.
You know what was really funny is I don't know if you caught this, but yesterday when you guys were talking about that game that you guys went to, she said I like the whatever the atmosphere or whatever I forget what word she used, but I like the blank at our table. She said that multiple times. So I thought that might make you happy if you actually caught that she said that.
Yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, she's taking some ownership of it, I guess.
Some ownership of our D&D games.
Yeah. With that roll, though, that one is... Okay. Along the path, you guys have been trekking it out for a good 6 hours or so at this point. It's probably getting to maybe a little bit after noon, and you keep having to kind of carve your way through these, hopefully, the less sentient plants and making your way down what should be the road.
Sorry!
Hopefully none of them are carved.
There
I'm
are...
like, super ill-equipped for this.
Yeah, there. Like I said, there's plants on either side of the road that, as you guys are walking by, they look like vines and other different styles of plants that like lift up almost. So the way that think about like a tentacle or like a snake might like lift it. You know how snakes can stand up a little bit, kind of like that. They like will lift up a little bit and then just like almost like they're staring at you and just following you as you go along the road. They can't really move; they're anchored there, but.
Hopefully none's be a jiki or a death tree.
See, we'll see what you guys run into.
Well, considering I stepped on a squishy bomb, I'm not terribly excited about the possibility of getting attacked by more plants.
Because you guys are kind of following the road, the path that Arteme took is where the road had been previously, and there isn't a lot. Basically, the road is paved; it's like stones. So there isn't as much fungal growth in the midst of it as there is on either side. So because you're relatively on a somewhat beaten path, although overgrown, you're not running over the fungal growth as much. So, but along the path, you come across laying in the middle of this what would be the road. Again, it's kind of overgrown, but there is a corpse of a thin elven man who. Well, I mean, we'll put it that way. You guys see a corpse that looks like a very emaciated elven man laying just on the side, but still on the road, just off the what would be the shoulder of the road, off to your right.
Wait! And I'm gonna use Mage Hand. How far away is it? Like 15, 20 feet still?
You guys can see this from probably about 20 feet back because it's just so dense that you kind of have to make out that there's a body amongst the
I'm gonna use Mage Hand to go up and just poke at the body in case it's some sort of a trap, or if it's actually a plant in disguise, because I'm super paranoid. And I'm gonna poke him.
Give me a sleight of hand. Because remember, for Mage Hand, it takes your movement to do it, so you're kind of mimicking it with your own hand, miming it rather. When your hand pokes at this, there's a popping sound. Kind of pokes into its back. It's laying face down, this corpse, and there's this kind of popping sound, and you guys see this kind of cloud of spores. It's not much. It's only probably maybe a foot in diameter. That pops up out from this and from this body, and then just settles down in the body.
Did it make a sound like that plastic popping?
Yeah, like popping. Yeah, like a loud bubble wrap, like a. Big
I'm gonna use the Mage Hand to do it a whole bunch of times.
It only did it the first time. There are like smaller sounds with the others, but maybe where he poked just happened to be So it's a pocket of gas that's inside the corpse.
And then I'm going to use Mage Hand to start rifling through its pockets.
From this...
No. It's security, guys. We got to make sure that there's nothing dangerous in its pockets.
You have to get a little bit closer to be able to see like where pockets will be and that kind of thing. So are you guys getting any closer? It doesn't appear to be dangerous. That little cloud that popped up off of it probably wouldn't have been... Like, you would have had to be, putting your face in it to be a threat.
I can go
something...
I have Mage Hand.
Something killed this guy.
You both gonna poke at him? You both gonna stand back and poke at him with visible fingers?
I meant for rifling through his pockets.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to slowly walk up with everyone else, I assume. I'm going to try to stay behind Norok if I can.
If you're 20 feet back and he's like kind of buried in plants, essentially, so if you guys get like probably 10 feet back, then you
I'm just worried about what buried him in the plants. I'm going to keep an eye. I'm going to try to keep an eye like around too. This is a very sketchy situation.
Okay. Anybody that is getting within, say, 10 feet or so, give me a medicine check.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, Serafina, go ahead and re-roll that. Yeah.
If you want to use this reaction. Oh, yeah, you have your... That's right, yeah. He just can do it at range, but you can do it for yourself. So.
Oh, I thought that was another one.
Well, didn't help too much, but hey. So, of all of you, Norok is just kind of standing over your guys' head, and Sarah, or Arteme, and Pogo keep kind of poking at this body, and aren't really noticing something. But Norok just looking over their heads at this thing. It shifts slightly as they keep kind of poking at it, like the plants beneath it are kind of giving way, like it's kind of sinking into the plants a little bit, and it rolls him the corpse off to one side. So he was laying face down, but he rolls basically toward where he's laying on his right side and facing all of you, and you see that there are lines. The way that you guys have all played The Witcher, I think all of you have. Yeah, all of you have. So when you drink potions as Geralt and you see the kind of veins in his face,
sure,
that like he looks like he's like there's clear poison of some kind that is obviously just had run through all of his veins. He's very much dead, but he's not wearing armor, and he's just covered in these deep bloody wounds. Same kind of slashing wounds that you guys had from the werewolves are just covering his whole front. His neck has been torn open, and then his face is just covered in these like spidery veins of this kind of greenish.
Ooh.
Give me an investigation for Pogo and Sarah. Sarah, in digging through pockets, the only thing you feel in them, there's kind of incidental stuff. There's a couple of coins. But they have this kind of, as soon as you pull them out of the pocket, they have this like greenish liquid on them. So you just drop those. They're not coins that look like they'd be of value. They might be like commemorative type things or something of that sort. They don't look like currency. But you drop those. You can pick them back up if you want. But you drop those because you felt something else in there, which is a rolled up piece of paper.
All right, I will bring that over. Is it covered in the same green stuff?
It is stained with the green stuff, but it's not dripping like the coins were.
Alright, well, since I have gloves on, I'm just gonna use the mage hand to hold the top and use my glove to roll it down.
Okay. You have two mage hands amongst the two of you, but...
does he have any jewelry on him?
Does not appear to, not that you can see.
Man, we're not even going to be able to tell if we find some people. We're not going to be able to tell who is out here dead. Just going to be some random guy. Does he have a name tag?
He's just conveniently wearing it. Says, "My name's Billy" or something like that.
I'm gonna try really hard to remember his face if he's got.
You want to take a picture with your iPhone?
I'm basically just gonna try really hard so that if we do meet more people, we can let them know what happened to their compatriot.
The paper, the rolled up paper, as you unroll it, is a very hastily and somewhat badly drawn. It looks like it's supposed to be a map. But it has so it's like this drawn in charcoal on paper, and again it's kind of stained with green in a few places. It's kind of hard to tell if it's on purpose in some places or not, like this was the color in any places, but it's basically drawn in charcoal, and then all over it, written repeatedly in what looks like blood, is lies. The word lies, Lies, written over and over and over again, all over it.
Okay, that's super creepy.
I mean, I'll take a dead guy with a note over 4 werewolves. Right. So?
Does it look like a map of the area?
You wouldn't recognize it. Arteme, you're nearby. Would you hit this as well?
I probably would have Arteme, knowing that she is familiar with the area.
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, I was saying I probably would have asked Arteme, knowing she's familiar with the area.
Can you look at this map and see if you recognize anything on this?
Do we have a picture of the map?
Yeah, basically. Well, me and her are using our mage hands now to just kind of open this piece of paper.
Not a visual aid picture, no. But I would say that just looking at it, it does look like the area around Termo before it was destroyed. It looks like it's like the what would be essentially like farming, like fields, an agricultural style area.
Okay, so it'd be a very old map, basically.
9 years old.
Okay.
But it could be, I mean, people would still think of it like that. They just, it's just been covered in overgrowth. That's still technically what's underneath all those plants and everything, too.
Are there any X's or things on the map that would show somewhere that he was trying to find, something that he was looking for, or is it just the map of the general area?
Give me
the arrows? I'm so bad at all of these.
Oh, Arteme got a natural 20, so.
There you go.
Arteme, you knew what the area was supposed to look like, and you know that where the it would be a governor essentially, but it'd be the Elven word for governor, which I don't have in front of me. So it's there is a very slight mark on that house. The only reason you even notice it because it just looks like cross hatching. With as badly crumpled and stained as this paper is, it wouldn't stand out otherwise. But you know that that's where his house would have been. That the governor, whoever it was at the time, male or female, but that the governor's house is what's marked.
Okay. But that would really be useful information now because they would have. So wait, is the corpse fresh or?
I mean, can't be there that long. I imagine these plants would be eating these and destroying these pretty quick.
Norok, you recognize this corpse couldn't be dead for more than 3 hours, 4 hours. And it's torn open. Like, remember, the neck is, the throat is torn out, and it's badly shredded a bit.
Okay.
Well, we're heading in that direction anyways, right?
I mean if we might as well check it out, and then maybe we can find a comfortable spot to stay. I mean, the idea of a governor's mansion doesn't sound too bad, even if it's a little, destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well. We're going that way.
It's still a ways away. Like it's Arteme, based on the pace you guys have made so far, if you were able to keep the kind of pace you've been going, you would need to camp. You could make another 6 or 8 hours and then need to camp, unless you're going to go through the night, and then you could arrive at the place in the morning, the Termo in the morning.
Would we be able to get to the tower before then?
That's where
we'd have to walk all the way through the night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. The idea of walking through the night in this rubbish of a terrain sounds pretty terrible. But then on the other side, sleeping in this terrain sounds pretty terrible.
Good for you guys.
I feel like, I don't know. Should we walk a few more hours and find a more open spot, something that's nicer for us to set up camp?
It's only about 1 in the afternoon right now. You guys still have a good half day's sunlight if you're going to use it.
I mean, I say
would
we
say
just-
we're better off in using all the sunlight we have,
Right.
and then if we find a big enough branch, I could make a tiny house.
Yeah, that you don't even need a big branch for. Fuck. You can
No, you just need a
that's-
branch.
you can just chop like a twig off of a tree and be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For the
That's what I
treehouse?
mean.
Yeah.
Because you said a
Doesn't-
large wooden branch.
I mean it in this. Well, not a tiny like a switch or anything, but basically take a hatchet and chop a decent sized branch. But it doesn't need to be. You don't need to chop down a tree.
I mean, that sounds fantastic. Why don't we? And then why don't we walk? And then if we find a spot, we can. Well, then
What's that?
my audio keeps cutting out. No, I agree. Like, that sounds great. I didn't know you could even do that. So, shall we be off? Should we just kick this guy over into the plants?
He's kind of already like sinking into them slowly as it is. When you guys started poking him and prodding him, the plants beneath him started to kind of give way, and he's like, it's like sinking into quicksand. It's only plants,
Ugh.
Should
like
probably-
melty plants. Like like these plants are like practically
I
dissolving.
mean, should we take his teeth or anything?
Oh, dude.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Almost
Trying
choked
to be
there.
lighthearted. So, it's all right. Let's keep tracking and see what we can figure out. Maybe we won't be eaten by plants before the morning. Let's keep going.
You guys are hearing like all kinds of monkeys and other growling sounds of larger predators all around you. Like so far on the road, it doesn't seem like you keep spotting occasional movement amongst branches where like clearly something large is pushing something, or pushing the plants out of the way, and so on. Nothing has attacked you so far, but you are hearing potentially dangerous creatures all around you. Pretty much.
So-
the entire.
I am gonna hold, if I can, as an action while we're walking. I'm going to hold Vicious Mockery, and if I see anything that's like a large enough creature to be a threat, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on it. Like if it's within our range and it seems to be a threat to us.
Just like prepared to do that in case something
Yeah,
pops out.
because I'm walking, I'm sneaking, I'm scared of my feet exploding, and I'm going to hold that ready to verbally assault anything that tries to come in with an attack and aggressiveness.
Tell those plants off.
Yeah, verbal and possibly sexually assault anything that comes within range of this group.
All right.
My
then
terrible
you guys,
perception.
if you guys are continuing on your way, what's your marching order?
I call behind Norak.
Norak is probably in the front. Well, it's up to you guys, but basically whoever's doing the cleaving of the kind of overgrowth to allow you some space between. The tree or the road will have 15, 20 feet, sometimes 100 feet maybe of open space, and then you'll hit this kind of overgrowth where the trees have just covered the road, and you kind of have to chop your way through 10, 15 feet, and then it's clear again for a little while. So it's up to you guys.
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, Norak in front, Pogo behind Norak. Not on the broom then? Pogo?
Yeah, I'm just going to be a little bit 5 feet, 10 feet behind Norak, keeping an eye out, keeping my mage hand poking at things.
Okay. Sarah's on the broom.
Yes. Like
And
at
what are they?
least 5 feet up.
What's Artemis doing?
I'll just walking in front.
Okay.
So we're heading towards the tower.
Well, yeah, you tell me. So if you're going to the southeast, one more.
Yeah.
Okay. Then to here. All right, give me another survival check. It's a bastardized version, but it is your homeland. It's not really a risk of you getting lost so much as it is.
I
kind of
thought you meant everybody.
Oh no, just Artemis. If she's the one leading the kind of telling you guys where to go. That's what I
Oh,
want.
don't worry. You know why? Because you can roll that again, Arteme.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Okay.
That's really good because the natural one on this table was not good for you guys. So, but way to stick the name of the group. All right.
Thanks.
In that case, it is, you after Nora kind of cleaves his way through, Nark, you're even starting to get tired finally from having to these branches. Almost as soon as you start chopping into them, others kind of back into them, and it's not they're not regrowing. There's just so many of them that as soon as you cut one down, there's others right behind it that kind of just push out, filling in the space that it came from. So it's almost a pointless task, but you do over time, of course, make your way through, and you carve through this place, and the road opens out into this wide open clearing. And Artemis, you've actually been here before. This didn't look like this. This is like a trade post. And off to one side there is a shack, like it's been destroyed and overgrown. Obviously, the tsunami that went through here pretty much wiped it out, but it's basically still kind of a lean-to. One wall of it that is kind of fallen over, while most of the rest of it's been washed away. But as you are kind of coming along into this wide open area, the shack is off to your left, and then the road continues on, covered in more vines and so on. What are you doing?
Oh, wait. What if there's more wolves in there?
Why don't you go knock on the door?
Or worse, cougars. Or bears. Or plant bears. Alright.
We could just ignore it.
I'm going to get close enough to be able to have Mage Hand kind of... Is there any openings that I can see that'll go into the interior?
Kind of. There's the door isn't there anymore, but the opening of where the door had been, like you can tell that there should have been a door here. The wall is like tipped over at about 45 degrees ish, onto what looks like more plants and so on. But you can kind of look through this door anyways at what space is behind it. There just isn't a whole lot of room. It's not big. It was a trade post, a small shack, like 20 by.
Small shack. I am going to send Mage Hand in there. And does anything happen to Mage Hand as it goes in? If it pokes the ground around to see if anything explodes?
Let's see. Maybe it's not. Is it invisible? Is Mage Hand visible? No, you can't make it
invisible.
No,
yeah, it's a visible. It's not invisible. It's just a
yeah. There's a rogue subclass that can make it invisible. So since it is visible, give me roll a percentile dice for me. Third from the left. Right click on it.
Third from the
from the left. Yeah, and then right click on it and then top left for D100.
What is it? It's giving me... There we go. Oh, wait. There we go.
Yep.
I figure out how this goes.
All right, well, as soon as your Mage Hand kind of passes into this darkness behind it, there is this ear-piercing shrieking sound that all of you, you're all close enough to hear this, immediately have to snap your hands up to your ears. Pogo, your Mage Hand, the concentration just drops because you have to cover your ears.
Oh.
It is, you can't see it, but there's this ear-piercing, just obnoxious, nobody else has concentration up to be concerned about, this shrieking sound that emits from inside this shack area. You can't see what's emitting it, but in reaction to it, almost as soon as that shrieking goes off to your right, far from maybe probably 60 feet or so past the clearing, in all of the massive plant life, there is a gargantuan roar sound coming off to the right, and something very large starts stomping this way through the plant growth, like so large that you feel the ground shaking with each step.
Artemis, what'd you do?
And that is where we will wrap up, because we are at time.
Awesome. Alright. I gotta go quick, guys, because apparently Leah wants to show me something. I had a blasty blast, so I will talk to you guys later.
Cool. Bye, Justin.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.